screen, but we'll wait for these guys to get on. Can you see my
Sure can.
Yep, I can see everything.
awesome? And I'll just start the recording until they start. No, I was just getting back from the city from a date. I got on that online dating again.
Oh shit.
And you know how it is. You're like out every night, and it's just takes up a lot, and you have to be on all the time. But
Oh, God.
I love it actually because you meet beautiful women that you're into, and you get to just I don't know.
Which one do you use?
This one I'm using is Hinge.
Hinge. Never heard of it.
Yeah, so Hinge. So
Oh, I'm so far out of the dating realm at this point, man. So don't even want to be bothered with it.
I hear you. So I'm like, I gotta go. I got a thing later tonight. So,
You just bailed on her?
no, we were gonna see each other again, but it was perfect timing actually. I made it super early because I knew we had this 9 o'clock for tonight.
Yep.
So I'm like, let's meet at like 3:30, 4 o'clock.
Oh, damn.
And so it's getting to that time. It's like it was perfect timing. So I got back just in time.
So I wonder if Jugs is using the phone version of this because he said it hung up on him. Is that?
Hold on. I'm not seeing anyone because usually it shows me the participants that are trying to get on, and then here it is. Here's C Max. I'm going to let him on right now.
Okay.
He's joining. And if you have Jugs' thing, I sent him a link.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know if he does it on his phone or if he's on a computer.
Tell him to use the computer one.
I just text him, see if he's on his way back.
Oh, here he is.
Oh, cool. He's here.
He's using his phone.
Yep.
C Max, are you on?
I see him in there, just can't hear him.
Hello.
Hey, there he is.
Hello, governors.
I can hear you now.
How you doing, C Max?
Not too bad, and you?
We're good.
Good.
Well, I'm good. I can speak only for myself. I'm good.
Well, you're the one I care about.
I like that. Makes me feel wanted.
Yeah, don't let it get to your head.
I learn to be happy on my own, and then everyone else is a bonus once I'm happy on my own.
There you go. It's all gravy, right?
That's it. Jug?
Yes.
Okay, you're on as well. All right, fellas. It's a 2000, listen to me, 21-14 season. And I know everyone on the 21-13 season wants to forget about it. Howie, I should speak for you because I know you're very disappointed in what happened with 4-12. I was actually shocked.
Well, listen, that was 100% due to. I mean, I was out of commission with my illness. My kids were sick, and then I was out of work for a week, which put me 2 weeks behind work-wise. And the time that I would normally dedicate to doing some IHOF stuff was all just me playing catch up. So that was literally, I think I wrecked 15 out of 17 games. So I'm not surprised by that outcome. I will be disappointed this season if it turns out to be the same record as last season.
Well, I think that kind of just goes to show that you really, in this league, you got to show up every fucking day. Otherwise, Rexing doesn't work. If you're not in there to adjust your depth chart when someone gets injured, I mean, it's tough.
Right.
So, yeah, I felt bad for you, man. That sucked because I know you weren't doing it on purpose,
No, listen, life happens. You take a couple on the chin, and you go forward.
No, but everyone, like Grim, you also went 8-8, which is unlikely like you. Jugs went 9-7, another one. And C-Max went 8-8. So everyone had a down year last season.
Yeah. Except for you, but then you got your ass whooped in the postseason, which sucked. I really thought it was going to be your year, man.
I didn't want to talk about it. Yes, but yes. You guys want to talk about the draft? Where do you guys want to go with this?
Whatever, we could talk a little bit about the draft, maybe, and then make the season predictions.
Okay, let's do that. Let's go to the draft.
Just
Go ahead.
just a quick question: who's all on?
So we got Jugs. Well, we know you're on. Howie's on, Grimm's on, and C-Max.
Okay.
That's it.
Yep.
Okay.
And myself.
Well, we know you're here,
Well,
so
obviously. Yeah, obviously.
So let me go to the draft. I got to tell you, let me just go over this because I told this to Grimm. His 2 second-round picks, I love. His lineman he picked up and his wide receiver. And I just want to get to them really quick. Which I reached out to him about.
13 and 14.
This guy, which if he hits that 72 mark, I think he's going to be a very good for me, for my type of player.
Yeah, no, and I like him, and I'm probably going to have him playing some left tackle at some point. But yeah, and I think those bars will go up a little bit. Not the run bar, but for passing wise, he's great. And this guy, if that route running goes up, he's going to be another good one.
Correct, because he reminds me, by the way, of my guy here, Grimm, Zuma, which I picked up from Paris.
Yep, I like him.
And he gave me 1,300, 1,400. 16 touchdowns last season.
Yeah, that was great. And he's young. Jesus.
Okay.
Well, that 84 route running is nice.
So when Grimm's guy was on there, his green bar was even higher than what we're seeing now. So when he was making that pick, I said he can be a stud. But I just want to call out these 2 players that I like from Grimm. But let's go to the first round picks. What do you guys think about the running back here?
I offered him 3 first-round picks, and he wouldn't take it. And then he actually came back and told me he had been offered more, which honestly I don't believe.
I offered him a very large package, but it wasn't 3 firsts. So I offered him 2 firsts and 2 seconds and a third, but he didn't want that either.
I'm not really sure what he expected or what he thought he was going to get. I mean, the running back was the obvious best player in the draft as far as I was concerned, and I honestly thought 3 firsts was pushing it.
Yeah,
I
well,
just
for a
find it
running
hard
back,
to
for
believe
sure.
that. Yeah, I just find it hard to believe that somebody actually offered more than that, and he didn't take it.
Yeah, no, with no top quarterback or wide receiver up there, you think the value of that first pick would go down a bit. But I like him. He's going to be a great running back. Just depends on if he's going to be a running team, I guess.
And I want to make sure I'm being accurate. I want to look and see what I actually offered him for that guy.
So 3 first-round picks wasn't taken.
He's a lot like the guy in Frederick. Right. He's a lot like the guy in Frederick. I mean, I could give that guy the ball 450 times and get 2,200 yards with him. But, I mean, like I say, he didn't take the offer, and I was actually kind of confused. Like I say, I honestly thought I was actually overpaying for the pick.
When I originally offered, no, that's the wrong guy now. Even I can't even find it. Where is it?
Yeah, I'm actually shocked that 3 firsts didn't take that. Didn't get that spot.
Yeah, I take it back. I did originally offer him 3 firsts and 2 seconds or third. But then
okay. But I guess that's a better offer.
Very quickly, I turned around and told him, no, I'm an idiot. I'm not doing that. Upon further review, and then I offered him 2 seconds.
Well, that's the other thing.
So hold up, you made an offer and reneged on the offer.
That's not a good way to trade, man.
Hey, I know, but I very quickly got back to him. It's like, wait a second, I'm a fucking moron. I shouldn't be trying to make offers in the middle of the night like that.
That is funny. So, C-Max, you must have made that offer, and then Jugs made his offer, and then he went back to Jugs and says, "I got more than that." And then you reneged.
I don't know when Jugs' offer was in there, but either way, three firsts. If he would have came back and said, "I'll take 3 firsts," I would have probably still done it.
He made the pick, and I texted him. I PM'd him, and I said, "Why wouldn't you?" I said, "You clearly don't want to pick." I said, "You even commented that you weren't happy about drafting a running back. Why didn't you hit me back and get further dialogue from me? Like, ask me, was there anything more?" He's like, I thought you made your best offer, and I had better offers out here. And I'm just sitting there thinking in my head, like, really? Like, somebody offered you more than 3 firsts for that pick, knowing that the running back is the best player? Really? I'm like I say, I was just completely confused. And if he really didn't want to pick, honestly, I probably would have threw something else in there. But he never bothered to private message me back.
Well, honestly, too, in Surt's defense, I mean, trading with Jugs or C-Max, you guys are perennial playoff teams for the most part. Last year, being a little out there. But so I could see maybe if he didn't get any of the quote-unquote lower GMs to get him offer, I mean, I'd be a little leery if I had 1-1 trading with either of you guys too,
For me,
a first round is a first round.
To me, a first round's a first round. And if I can get 3 first-round picks for a player or players that I don't think is really going to do much on my team, I will take the other first-round picks because I could package those first-round picks to get a player in the next year's draft to get the player I want.
Right. Like he could have taken those 3 firsts, and if there's a quarterback or a wide receiver in either of the next couple drafts, right, just parlay that to move up. Like I say, I was just completely confused. He didn't take the offer, especially given the fact that he had posted a couple of times that he just really wasn't happy with the selection, with what was available.
Yeah.
How about you, Howie? What do you think of
my video just popped on for some reason.
I see that. It wants to show your face.
Hey there, Howie.
It wants to show your face.
Look at him.
Listen, I agree with Jugs. He was the best player in the draft. So I like the pick. I think it was the right pick to make, and that's all there is to say.
For sure, if you're taking the pick, he was the guy. He had to be.
He was the guy. Exactly.
I mean, now he's basically forced to become a running team now. If he doesn't give this running back the ball 350 times for like the next 7 seasons, it was kind of like a wasted opportunity.
Oh yeah, that's a guy you give him the ball until his legs fall off.
So,
and then,
go ahead, Howie.
I was gonna say, I mean, that's what you do. You give him the ball until his legs fall off, and then you hire a better training staff and you give him the ball some more.
So my question is to you guys who do running teams: do you now diminish your quarterback and give all the money to your running back, and your running back is now officially kind of like your quarterback?
It depends on who's available for me. With me, I always go with who's available. I mean, the guy I got on my team now, he was available as a free agent. The guy I had before that, I drafted in like the 5th or 6th round, and he played for me for like 12 or 13 seasons. So it just depends on what's available. I don't put much emphasis on the quarterback position in this league because I've been so run heavy for the last, 30 seasons or whatever that I've been in the league.
Yeah, but Fredrickson's played all right for you, when you got him out of free agency winning 2109. So, and he's costing you quite a bit of money too. So you've been able to make that work, even paying a decent quarterback salary.
Yeah, but he doesn't have a $100 million cap number every year or anything like that. I mean, it's high, but yeah, it's nothing out of control. And honestly, what's helped me the last couple years is I've used 2 and 3 running backs, so I haven't had a high cap number on the other 2 running backs. Like the one guy I signed in free agency, and he hasn't played anywhere near as well as he should have. But the second and third running back that I got on my roster, their cap numbers aren't that high at all.
Yep.
Now that's the problem with taking a running back at 1.1. You know you're going to run the shit out of him. He's going to have 1,500, 2,000 yards a season. 4 years from now, you're going to be paying him 55, 65 million if you want to keep him.
I guess he really
it
liked
might even be more than that.
Yep. Well, at this point, yeah, 21-14, yeah.
Jugs.
Maybe a $75 million man.
He must have really liked his running back because of he took him. Because he could have gotten back to you and said, you know what, I'll take your 3 first-round picks.
that C-Max guy's a douche. He rescinded his offer. I'll take yours.
I mean, back to my point, like he could have came back and said, look, I know you offer me 3 firsts. Would you be willing to add such and such? And depending on what he would have asked for, like I say, honestly, I probably would have given it to him. Like, as long I didn't have a 4th first to give him, but if he would have asked for like a 2nd or 2 seconds, I might have done that.
I got to agree with you on this, Jugs. I wish more people would say, I don't like that offer. Here's my counter offer. And then us making the offer can choose to either counter offer that or say, I'm out. But sometimes there's no counter. And there is room for negotiation. And maybe we can come to an agreement that both parties accept. But it seems like sometimes there is none. It's like it's blank.
Yep.
Yeah, like I say, I was just really confused because, like I say, I'm sitting here thinking like you really don't like your options. You don't want this selection, but you're not doing everything you can to get out of this selection. So I'm just like, I was just like really confused when I had logged on and I looked at the conscriptor and saw that he had made the pick. I'm like, huh? Like, why wouldn't you private message me back and be like, I need a little bit more?
Sweeten the pot, I don't know. I'll take it. Yeah.
Well, I, for one, am glad that you did not get him, Jugs. I'm glad that you didn't get him.
So, next up was Iowa took defensive end. If his pass rush technique hits close to the 82, it'll be solid. Now, I guess he took your advice, by the way, Jugs. I think he took your advice because you gave it to him on the forum.
Yeah. Now, this particular pick, I won't say I was confused by, but I didn't think he was the best defensive end in the class. I thought he would draft the other guy. The other guy, to me, looked better.
Meucci.
Meucci, I think is his name.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah, to me, he was like the slam dunk, like best defensive end in the class.
You know, those combines were a little lacking in comparison to the other guy. I mean, I can see there was kind of a toss-up there, but...
Yeah, and I don't know exactly what his scouts saw. I don't know how good his scouts are. Maybe his scout has him better rated than the other guy, or at least bar-wise look better rated than the other guy. But to me, I thought, like, I was shocked. I mean, we'll talk about it in a little bit, but I was shocked to see Meucci, like, slip out of the top 10.
Yeah, I thought Meucci was the best defensive end in the class as well.
Yeah, I think that tackle that went number 3, I think, was the best defensive player overall. But still tough to take D lineman.
He doesn't look great either.
Well, yeah. Well, pre-reveal, he looked to me like he was going to be the top guy. But it's still tough taking the defensive lineman in the top 5.
Well, Jay-Z reached out to the community about, helping his team. What can he do? And Jugs, I remember saying, pick up pass rushers and cornerbacks.
Add a couple more stud, defensive backs, yeah.
Yeah. So to help him out.
I'm not sure. I'm honestly not really sure why he's struggling so much. He did pretty well in CCFL in Ben's other league. I have no idea why he's struggling so much here. I mean, I know there's a lot of competition in this league, but it seems like, I don't know, it just seems like his game planning has just completely fallen off a cliff. Like, he won a couple bowls in CCFL. I have no idea what's going on here in this league.
If you look at his O-line, he's got no cohesion. He's a lot like our team right now. I mean, he's got so many young guys on there. He's got to have this terrible cohesion, and that's tough to produce on offense. Even if you got good receivers and a good running backs, it's tough if your O-line has got no cohesion.
That's true, and it doesn't help when you trade an 84 rated quarterback and only get.
I was just going to say that had to have stung a little bit.
And only get like two players back in return and a replacement quarterback. Like, that's just.
I mean,
that trade is puzzling.
Biletnikoff, 66% completion, 5,086 yards, 44 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Just switching teams made that big of a difference. There's something else going on there.
Well, game plans. I mean, I honestly think some
game plan
some quarterbacks are suited
is lack
for
of talent.
Game plans and suck otherwise.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, it's lack of talent. Like, I mean, T-Back posted it. Like, he's clearly overrating how good his wide receivers are.
Right.
Like, that's a clear indication. Like, he's overestimating the talent that he has on offense. But, like, your solution isn't to get rid of the quarterback. Your solution is to add pieces to help that quarterback, not get rid of the quarterback and now start over. That doesn't make any sense.
Well, these are his wide receivers. They're not too bad.
Well, they're great, but if your game plan's Biletnikoff, why would it work with the other guy?
True. That is true.
I mean, again, you might get lucky and find a guy that just has an affinity for that particular, play style, I guess.
Looking at those three wide receivers, there shouldn't have been a problem.
So these 3 wide receivers are fantastic if you have a balanced or a run balance type game plan. He passes too much. These 3 wide receivers can't take 200 targets apiece.
Yeah, because if you look at
Yamashita.
Yeah, because if you look at
Yamashita.
No, because you made a point, Jugs. Because if you look at what's his name, my pal, he doesn't throw a lot. Biletnikoff
He throws a decent amount, but he spreads the targets out.
Yes. So I'm looking at Yamashita. He was targeted 139, which is not a lot. 61% catching ability.
That average per catch is tough. I mean, 12's a little low, I think, for an average.
But he's not getting any touchdowns. He only has 3 touchdowns, this guy, for one of his top wide receivers.
Now, the second guy, Holt, has an 80 route running bar. That's fine. That's perfect. And then the guy he drafted last year is going to have a 70-plus route running bar. That's perfect. But at this point, I think he needs, McKnight, I think he needs to run the ball a little bit more and have some sort of balance. I mean, now he's at a point where, let me look. Because I'm almost willing to bet his cohesion is probably near the bottom third of the league since he traded that quarterback. Yeah, he's at 63, which looks like he's 21st. At least that's based on what preseason was set up as.
Yeah, if you're going to be pass heavy, you got to have. I mean, you don't want to be doing it with a 63 pass cohesion.
Right. You need if your cohesion is that low, you really need talent to offset that cohesion. And I don't think he has the talent to offset that cohesion. And again, I think he needs some sort of balance. He had that Asher Folger guy running the ball who was just absolutely awful. And it looked like he had finally released him. And then I saw somebody else sign him. I don't know what team he's on, but somebody else in the league signed him. I'm sitting there thinking, why are you signing this guy?
Well, I think Folger actually might not be that bad if it wasn't for the fact that, like I said, that O-line cohesion, that's particularly important in the run game. And, it doesn't matter who he had at running back. I don't think he'd have been getting 4 or 5 yards carry.
He picked up defensive end. Even though he's not the best one in the draft, I still like him. If he
Oh, I
hits,
like him.
if he hits his pass rush technique at a high number, I think he could be solid. And his play diagnostic will be high as well.
No, I mean, he's going to be a good defensive end if his bars fill out. He'll be good. Um, it'll be interesting to see whether it's he or Miyuchi ends up being better in the long run.
Now, I didn't make any picks this draft. I didn't like the draft. You guys can tell me your thoughts on it. Here's the defensive tackle. Now, someone mentioned that you think this was the best defensive player in the draft.
Well, pre-reveal, I thought he looked like he was going to be the best defensive player in the draft.
Okay.
You know, his combines and the bars that I saw when they were still blue, you know, he looked like, and I have a fairly decent defensive scouting. My offensive scouting is horrible. I mean, I have no idea who's really good in the draft in terms of offense because I got like a 8 or some horrible number in scouting on my offensive coordinator. But defensively, he looked to me like he was going to be a guy that was going to be real dominant.
Now, my scouts have
He looked
projected at 75. Go
Good.
ahead, Chucks.
he looked like an 85 rated pre-reveal to me.
Yeah.
With that being said, there's no way I draft the defensive tackle.
Well, yeah, I probably wouldn't want to either. I mean, any defensive lineman, but particularly defensive tackles, tough in the top 5 or even really the
And
top 10.
and here's the other thing, and I don't really understand why he did this. He weight trained him to go down.
How do you know that?
His weight is different than what it was when he drafted him.
Yeah.
How do you know that? Is there a way to see this?
Well, if you look at the conscriptor,
Just look at the conscriptor.
Okay.
it shows
And see what he weighed.
Yeah, he was over 300 pounds.
Why would you bring him down?
Well, I mean,
I don't know. Especially if you're leaving him at defensive tackle, that makes no sense to me.
I mean, if you're one technique defensive tackle, I think that's kind of in the sweet spot for what the game says for weight.
Or maybe he's thinking, see
No,
what the game says? It says
Well,
ideal fit defensive end.
But he doesn't run a 3-4, does he?
defensive end. Isn't
No,
he?
he runs a
Right,
he runs a 4-3.
4-3.
That's
Okay.
why I don't understand
Unless
the weight
he's
drop.
switching. Right, unless he's going to switch to a 3-4 next season.
But that
maybe,
weight drop might have
then that would be the right
weight
decision.
drop might have been what fucked this guy up because, like Jug
That-
said, he was going to be an 85.
Who knows?
Very interesting.
That being said, I still like him. He should still be a really good defensive tackle.
Now, C-Max,
Good.
what,
I just don't think a defensive tackle is going to have that much of an impact if you draft him like top 5 overall.
C-Max, where did your scouts have him before he did the weight drop? Was those bars higher, closer to like 90?
Let me look at my what I had.
Because
Here.
what
Yeah.
Grim is saying, maybe the weight like really fucked him up.
Yeah, he was 67 of 100, 67 of 100, 63 of 96 in those top 3.
Yeah,
So
and I
for my
had-
defensive,
Yeah, and I had 70 of 100, 68 of 98, 64, 94. You know, I had a little bit. He had better endurance by my guys, but yeah, he was 6'3", 317.
yep. So that boy dropped almost
He
20
dropped
pounds.
20 pounds. Yeah, and maybe with the weight drop, maybe he was hoping to get him down in that 308, 307, range, which isn't terrible for a defensive tackle. But I don't know that I've ever seen a guy drop 20 pounds when he was requested.
That's
That was
It's
a big drop.
especially when you just wasted a 1-3 pick on a player that you want.
I would be real curious to know what made him weight train him. Like I say, unless he plans on moving to a 3-4 defense, and that's like the ultimate plan. I'd just be real curious to know why he did that.
I'm looking at his roster. There's no need for him to move into a defensive end. He's got a 65 rated defensive end. He's got an 85 rated defensive end. Here's
Yeah, I
his
can't see
defensive
switching
even
to a
more
3-4.
Here's his defensive ends. Unless this guy would be Broadhead. He wants to replace him. But you're not going to replace Norman.
No, he's 80 rated. He's 80 plus.
Well, even at 297, he's too big to be a 3 or a 4-3 defensive end, really.
So, yes. Well, maybe he'll chime in after hearing this chat. He'll get on the forum and say why he did what he did. All right, that was the defensive player. So we're like, he's a good player, but for 1-3, here's the first wide receiver off the chart.
Oh, no. Ugh, God. Salvageable if that route running gets up there, but that endurance is fucking garbage. Oh, man. Jobs.
Where's Jobs? Where am I? Here we are. Yeah, well, he doesn't have any wide receivers, so he was in need of one.
No, this is rebuild, too, because he doesn't have, he's not starting Adams anymore either. Or Neal, whatever his quarterback has been the last few years.
Yeah, but that endurance is a killer.
Yep.
Especially picking up 1-4 for a wide receiver. The person who got the best wide receiver in this draft in the first round is Sawblade.
Oh,
No, his was a conversion.
Oh, we'll get to him,
Yeah.
No, it's not a conversion.
Yeah, it is. He was a running
Was it?
back.
Yeah, Ian Fredrickson, he was running back, yep. Yeah, he was on my radar for a while in there, for sure.
Yeah, if I wasn't able to move up and get the guy that I got, he was going to be my pick.
Yeah, Ian Fredrickson.
Wait,
he was a running back. He was a running back. 5'10", 206. Did he have him lose weight?
No, I think he left him.
Yeah, 5'10", 206 is still fine.
Because I was saying, how did he get him at 123?
Yep, he was a running back.
He was a running back.
It's a risk. Anytime you do a convert, it's a risk. So sometimes people shy away from those guys. Because, if you convert him, you take him at 110 and you convert him and it doesn't pan out the way you're hoping, then you're fucking.
Yep,
yourself.
and he did not. He didn't weight train him either. So
nope.
One thing about
God.
whenever you switch over a running back to a wide receiver, the one thing it's usually lacking is a big play bar. This guy still has a 59 big play bar, which is kind of surprising. But he had all the other bars as a running back. Like, he had all the other pass-catching bars as a running back. Right, he was just an ideal person to switch.
That explains why he dropped, Saw got him at that 123. However, this guy here, the endurance for me is too low. Getting downfield for me is too low. It's not going to reach that 50 mark. Everything else, it's okay.
The boy drops is still tough to have. I mean, he's still going to drop an extra 5-10 balls a season, which, if he's going to drop 10 to begin with, he ends up dropping 20 in a season, that's going to suck too.
He's a third wide receiver, fourth wide receiver, I would think. But if I'm picking someone at 1-4, he's got to be a number one, at worst a number two. But he's got to be a number one for me.
Well, he's probably going to be a number one for him.
No, he's got Ron Ellard still. So
this is this guy, his number one. 7th season, 29 years old. He'll have him probably till he's 34 years old. So he's still got that guy.
And he's still got that Mathushka, whatever the hell his last name is. Jalen Hirschberg. Sorry, that's not what I was talking. Yeah, Jalen Hirschberg. I don't know who the hell I was thinking of. And he's still. That's why the middle name is Methuselah. I don't know how to pronounce
Methuselah?
it.
I think next season he's gonna drop even more.
Yep. So that's probably the purpose of drafting Jose Cole.
Yeah, as long as Hirschberg keeps the route running above 50, he's still gonna warrant plenty of playing time.
Yep.
And next off the board was the quarterback. Paris took this quarterback. I don't understand this quarterback. He saw something I'm not seeing.
ever since he fucked up and sent Eichhorst to you, he's been desperate to get a quarterback.
Yeah, I think GMs really reach for quarterbacks in these leagues. There's not always a surefire 60-plus rated quarterback every draft. And just because one's there doesn't mean you take them. And I just was completely lost on what he saw in this guy.
If his offensive coordinator is as terrible as mine, this guy, I mean, honestly, I wish I could show you my conscriptor right now because the guy looks like a superhero.
This guy?
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm telling you, my scouting is so terrible. This guy, I'm seeing.
This guy looks like a superhero with your construct.
Yeah, 66 to 98 for deep passes, 61 to 93 for third down passing, 67 to 99 for accuracy.
Well, it's not. It's not that. Because
this guy looks like a superhero.
Harris's offensive coordinator.
Well, I can't explain it. But if he had my shitty offensive coordinator, I was looking at this guy thinking he was top 5 material for sure. But that's why I didn't want to draft anybody. That's why I got another fucking linebacker. I couldn't trust my offensive scouting.
Yeah, this is
terrible. I wish you guys could see it. I mean, this guy looks like a generational type of guy.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, but going back to what you said, Grim. Yes, he traded Ike. However, he got 3 first-round picks for Ike. Actually, I offered 2, and he says I only would trade him for 3, and I said, you know what, it was worth it. But I was gambling that Ike would turn out to be where I think. But he could have packaged my 3 first rounds and his first round, which is 4, and got any quarterback that was out there.
You should have never traded Ike.
Yeah, he said the same thing.
Well, then he had Eric Mays, who he drafted 1/6 one year, that was his draft pick. Traded to Colorado last season, and Colorado did okay with him, but
he
didn't start Colorado. Yeah,
this pick, I'm sure he's probably disappointed as well with this guy because of last season he picked a guy by mistake, and it was a quarterback, and it was a high pick. And it was not the guy he wanted. And so he's kicking himself for that. Now he's got this guy. I'm sure he's kicking himself for this guy as well.
Yeah, well, he's only 21% developed. Maybe he'll get lucky and he'll have a, second or third season boost and at least get up into that 45 to 50 range. But I don't see it. I'll be shocked if he hits 41.
And then he also, before that, he did have Skip Granados, who he traded to Chris.
Yeah, Skip was great in the Air Coryell.
Oh, that's right. Skip. I remember Skip. He was.
Yeah, he was a great stopgap between Shea and Sosha.
I remember Skip. I drafted.
Yep. Well, not drafted him. You got him in the
Skip?
free agency.
Because
I
you got him in a rookie free agent. Undrafted free agent. You got him.
Oh, yeah.
Because Paris, he's close to taking his team well into the playoffs if he had a quarterback. And because if you look at his roster is very good. Now he's a little light on the defensive backs, but outside of that,
he's solid across the board.
Yeah,
his wide receivers are a little. Well, I mean, got a couple of decent ones there. So,
got a good tight end. I'd lean on that a little bit.
Yeah, good tight end. Good yep.
So he just needs that quarterback.
Should never traded Ike.
He must have saw something like that he didn't like, and that had to be the reason why he traded him. That's the only reason why I can see it.
Or your offer made him feel like he could get 3 replacement players and improve his team.
Yep, and maybe that worked out. I mean, what did he get for those 3 players? Or for those picks? I wonder.
That's a good question. That's something he should chime in and let us know. With my 3 first-round picks, what did he get? Plus, I gave him 2 first-round picks, by the way, for Azuma. his wide receiver.
Right, so he keeps trading talent away.
Yeah.
So
That's
They're stockpiling a really deep roster, but he hasn't got the key component, which is the quarterback.
so it'll be interesting. We should do a show about that. What are people getting for trades? Because you made a point. I think it was Jugs. He said he wrote in the comment, "Well, let's see what you got for Belinkoff." And he goes, "Oh, you didn't get anything, but just the
You
other
didn't
quarterback."
get any first round pick. Right. He got a replacement quarterback, a defensive back, and I can't even remember what the third player was. Like, you traded an 84 rated quarterback and you didn't get any draft picks in return. Huh?
Yeah, that's
Come again?
That's insanity.
Now here's Howie's pick, which I like safeties. I know a lot of people don't like safeties, but I like safeties.
Oh, I
I
love
know.
him.
I love him.
And he's going to be very good. You know, that zone defense is
I
what
like
it needs
this
to
guy.
be. The run defense is good. Play diagnosis, got some interception ability, endurance. Yeah, he's all right.
I like this guy, but he dropped.
Yeah, he did for
He
sure.
did drop. He did drop. Yep. I think I see his zone bar. That's probably the reason why I drafted him was his zone bar, and I still see him topping out at 92 with the zone. Is how I see him.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I see him as 92 with the zone, play diagnosis 85, interception 74, endurance 87, special teams 95, overall 67.
Plays defensive
I-
scout is 88. So
Yeah, and mine's pretty good, and I see him about the same as Clay. But I can still see that. I mean, the zone bar, if that gets in anywhere 75 and above, it's elite, elite safety.
So, and I was in desperate need of a safety because my roster is aging out and dropping like a stone. It's piecemealed together by a bunch of 27 overall rated safeties with like 90 zone defense, and that's about it. Like pull up White. Go to my roster and pull up White and pull up who's the other guy? Bert Jarvis, I think is his name.
All right, let me get Bert Jarvis over here, and let me put White over here. There we go.
Like Bert Jarvis has just completely fallen off of a cliff in the last two seasons. The only thing he has is a zone bar.
But even at that, he still had a great rating last season.
Yeah. Well, it just goes to show that like right overall bars, the overall number is not the end all be all of a player. If you got a player that's got a really high bar and really good cohesion, you can make things work.
Yeah, that's why I got Preston still producing.
But I don't know how much
offense.
longer Bert Jarvis and Jonathan White are going to stay on the roster if they keep, dropping off.
Jarvis needs to retire. I mean, good lord.
yeah, right. Hey, I just got into a bidding war to get that free safety old man from Mass Lewis this year, that John Aponte, who had a 99 zone defense bar, and that's it. So what Howie says is true. I mean, sometimes you just get away with that massive zone bar for a free safety. You know,
you got a free safety, and he's got nothing but zone. Yeah,
Now what?
Look, well, the guy's giving him 80.
Unworkable.
Go ahead, Howie.
What I really liked about Bert Jarvis is last year his run defense was much higher than 52, and his zone defense was still up in the 90s. I think his run defense was like 73 or 74. So Bert Jarvis, I had him slotted as my nickelback.
Yep.
Like, it was
It's funny how you and I thought about this, Howie, what you said a while back, that you put people with zone defense in nickelback. However, I played a player in nickelback with man-to-man, and he did better than my guy who had more zone. And I'll show you what I mean by that.
See, but in most, and that's got to be a little anomaly, because in most nickel positions in 1-1-3, your nickelback is playing zone.
So this guy had more man-to-man. He tapered off, but his man-to-man last season was higher.
Yeah, but even that zone defense is still high, Clay.
Yeah,
That's
he's still got a great zone.
Okay, then I
defense.
can't
I
go
totally
by
play
that.
him.
All right.
Yeah.
So whatever I just said, just throw it out the
Yeah,
window.
you don't know what you're talking about, sir. I thought it sounded fishy.
Go pull up one of my cornerbacks. Pull up. What's his name? Not Brennan. Who the hell is my Howery? Cornell Howery. I guarantee you that if you put that guy in a nickelback and play cover 2, he's going to be terrible.
Yep. He's all bump. That's for press coverage right there, that guy.
And that's exactly what he does. I got a press package, I got a zone package. It's my defense is entirely thrown together by role players. Like, that's it.
Yeah,
Yep.
but you have always good defenses, Howie. Even though you have it as role players, your defense are always up there in the top 10.
Yep.
And just goes to show that you can have role players and still have a good defense. You don't have to have all the bars to make up a defense.
Put players in position to be successful.
Now, do you like your safety?
I love that safety.
Okay.
I think that the one thing that I could not afford to have drop off on him was that zone defense bar, and it didn't. So he went down a couple of places. I was thinking about maybe playing him as a cornerback, but when the man-to-man dropped, I was like, no, I'm just going to keep him at safety. That's what I drafted him for, and that's just fate telling me to keep him where he is.
All right, we're going to go to the next player. The next player up is a quarterback. Not a quarterback, a wide receiver. This is Jug's
guys.
Now, that's a nice pick, Jug. I got to give that to you.
Yeah, he moved up.
Who'd you trade with to get this guy?
Master Louis.
And what'd
I
you give
gave
up?
him 2 firsts. Yeah, 2 firsts.
Worth it. I would
We
give
swapped.
the same thing.
We swapped first, and I gave him a first next year.
I like the pick a lot. He's 21 years old, almost 6 feet, 197 pounds. He's going to have a high route running for hits, good getting downfield, third down catching. His endurance was just enough. You're not going to put him on punt return, are you?
I don't know if I did that in preseason or not. I might. I can't remember what I did in preseason. Let me look.
What do you guys think of his pick?
I like it. I thought it a little weird to move up because I didn't like his combines at all. But then I thought about how many times over the years I've seen people draft these guys with big bars and not really great combines, average combines, no reds or, whatever, and just have them pan out. So thought about that after their Jugs took this. I'm like, yeah, I think he's going to pan out, and sure as shit.
I have him on kick return, not punt return.
I
don't have another kick returner.
I like the pick as a wide receiver. Much better than the Jose Cole that was picked before him.
Well, I only saw, like I say, the running back that saw switched over is somebody different. But I only saw 2 legit wide receivers that I thought were worthy of like top 15 picks. It was the guy I took, and then the guy after me, Aragu, the Snapfinger took. Those are the only 2 I thought that were legit top 15 wide receivers.
I have a question. You're a running team, but yet you traded up to get a wide receiver. Did you trade up knowing that you're getting a wide receiver, or did you trade up and say, let me see what I'm going to get, but then decide to get this wide receiver?
No. He was my target all along.
Yeah.
the guy I ended up trading to Grimmer, he was getting old. He's in his 10th year. And actually the plan was to hold on to him for one more year, but I got rid of him this offseason.
Okay. Well,
I
nice.
only need one wide receiver to run my offense. As long as I have one wide receiver and one tight end, which I actually got two, I can run my offense.
Yep, because I don't see this guy getting like the mass amount of targets that other guys would get him, and he'll play just fine in your system. So,
Yeah, 1 year he'll get that route running up. By the second year, he'll start being productive for you.
I'll be right back, gentlemen.
Good. All right, let's see the next wide receiver that was picked right after him. Oh, the route running for me is not there. What do you guys think?
Well,
Yeah, well, if that's
he dropped.
that's accurate.
Yeah, he dropped. He looked much better pre-reveal. Like I say, he looked like a legit 65 rated wide receiver, and his route running bar dipped, his big play bar dipped, like both of them dipped.
Yeah, his getting downfield
And
is not there. His route running is maybe he'll get to 45 because even though it shows green there, it doesn't mean it's going to get there.
so I had his get downfield bar like around 70. I had his big play bar almost maxed, which his big play bar is still high. It's just not maxed. And I had his route running bar. I think I had his route running bar like between 65 and 70.
Really?
And it looked like it dropped 25 pounds. Yeah.
So wait a minute. You had his getting downfield at 80, you said?
No. I had his route running bar between 65 and 70.
Okay.
His get downfield bar was like between 65 and 70, and his big play bar was almost maxed out. It's at 87 now. I had him at basically 100. Look, he ran a 4.34. It looked like he was a lock to hit all his bars. He's got a 13 bench. He ran a 4.34. His agility drill 7.70. He looked like he was a lock to hit everything.
Yeah, he might bounce back.
You think you could pop past
He
that?
could.
You never know. I mean, it's a crapshoot. I mean, there's nothing to say. I mean, there's no reason to believe he will, but you never know. I mean, he's got the combines for it. Hopefully he'll bounce back. Stranger things have happened, but generally when they tank, they stay tanked.
I had a receiver in another league. Everything was high, like how Jugs was saying, and it felt like what this guy is like. And I was hoping, like you're saying, C-Max, that maybe the second or third season it'll come back. It never did. It stayed. My route running stayed at 40. It never went past that. And I'm thinking, let me just put in the time. Hopefully it can. Never did. He turned out to be awful. The catches were, I don't know, 50% of the time he'll catch the ball that was thrown to him. So it was a nightmare. And I picked him, I think, at 1.6. So I feel for Snap. I understand. Yeah. Not good. But like you guys said, he saw something different and hoping that it was going to play out. But I guess PS2 killed it. Next up, the left tackle. Now, I love offensive linemen. Now, Sween Dog took this guy. 1.9. Now, I don't know if he's a passing team or a running team. Because if it's run and he can get his run blocking, that would be nice. His pass blocking for a left tackle, I think, is too low for me. At 1.9.
He's a balanced team, but he runs out of the spread offense. Like he uses the spread offense, I believe.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
But he has
should be real good.
But he has a balanced attack. Yeah, he has a balanced attack. Like he usually mixes it up pretty well.
So he might put this guy at right tackle because he's his left tackle guy. He's a young guy, 24 years old.
That left tackle looks like a left guard to me at best. It looks more like a
Oh, because he's
Yeah, he's a
299.
little short and late.
yeah.
A little short and
Like,
late.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he'd probably be better off leaving Abrams on the left tackle spot, and maybe move Dixon into left guard. And that's what I would do. I mean, but
There's no way I would. What's that guy? 6 feet?
6 foot 299.
Yeah, there's no
left
way I
tackle.
would play. Yeah, there's no way I would play that guy either in a tackle position.
Yeah, way too light to play right tackle. I mean, he's too light to play left tackle, but at 6 foot, maybe the ratio is right. But still, he looks more left guard.
What's his center again, Clay?
Probably.
He's 275. I was looking at his center.
Okay.
He's
Yep,
too,
so he has to
he's
play
too light.
center.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
too
he doesn't have
light.
a choice. Yeah. Ugh.
So
Left guard.
you bump him into guard, Dixon. You bring Abram to left tackle, and then hopefully you can pull a guard over to right tackle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, who's his right tackle?
Here's his guards. Here's one of them, and here's the other one. Not much to work with.
He's big enough to move over, I guess. Maybe. But what's his second year right tackle actually look like?
His second year right tackle look like. No.
Oof.
No,
Yeah.
not him. No, not him. It's the other guy. It's the other. He has 2 left tackles. It's the other left tackle.
Yeah, well, he's going to have to move.
Yeah, Mo Dixon and these
Yeah,
guys.
th-
They're
this-
already on the
These are the guys on the screen.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. That is Mo Dixon. Oh, wow.
Yeah, he
Mo
doesn't have a right
Dixon's
tackle.
guard.
Maybe that right guard.
Yeah.
Yeah, whoever his biggest
He's building.
spare guard needs to move him to right tackle.
He's building his lineup, so he's just saying, "Listen, I got to get a offensive lineman." Maybe he picked up all the linemen in the draft
I got
as well.
no problem with Abram. Abram's a good pick, especially if he was
Abram's a good pick.
playing. I mean, if he's replacing Dixon at left tackle, that was a good pick regardless because Dixon doesn't need to be playing left tackle.
No, and he has
Abram looks like he could play either side or left or right guard.
Yep.
You know what he can do with Dixon? Find somebody who would trade him, who needs a center, and he needs a right
Or
tackle.
guard or left guard.
And
Dixon
do that.
would have to
Yeah,
be moved to left guard before he could even play center because sticking out that outside tackle shit, he's not going to get any experience at center.
Yeah, he's only at 2 at center right now. He'd probably struggle mightily, but left guard he'd have to move too. And then the other issue with moving him is he's got an 18 intelligence, so good luck getting anything good for him.
Right.
But I think it's a great pick because he's got that Ethan Kendrick running back he drafted last year, so he'll be able to run the ball a little bit better with Abram on the line, I bet.
Yep. Yeah, he's got some
This guy.
flexibility with Abram. He can play pretty much anywhere he needs him to.
Yeah, he's just fine at running back. Maybe a little more endurance, but 1,300 yards last year. Can't beat that.
Yeah, can't beat it.
What does Howie think? Howie never talks anymore.
Sorry,
Listen.
how he's multitasking poorly.
All right. I figured you were doing something else, buddy.
I'm putting together last-second game plan adjustments.
All
That's
right on.
okay. Yeah, what do you think of this left tackle situation?
No, I agree. I think that he'll move him inside. I think that he'd be a good guard. That's what he would be. I would draft him and move him to guard. If he was a Texas player,
Well,
that's what he'd be.
Well, looking at his other left tackle, though, that Mo Dixon, we determined he needs to play left guard, and Abraham needs to stick on the outside.
right. He can't move him from the tackle position until he actually gets the tackle.
Yeah,
He needs another tackle.
because that's what you're talking about when you're talking about being short, huh? 6 foot. Either way, I like offensive linemen, and I'm not like you, Jugs. I don't get hung up on weights and heights. I just look at bar sets and some combine numbers and plug them around where I need them. Like my offensive linemen are interchangeable, and I very rarely, if I draft somebody, Sometimes I might make a transition and actually make a tackle into a guard, but sometimes I'll just leave them at their drafted position and just move them down the line. Like Dusty Sanford, I drafted him as a guard. He's going to start at right tackle for me. Of course, he's fucking huge. So
Yeah, and he's probably got some experience now at right tackle.
So
very good.
All right. So next up, linebacker, the first one off the board, Motown. It seems like a lot of people, their combines and their bars look better in the draft, and then after PS2, they got chopped. Do you guys feel the same way? This draft?
In this draft class, yes.
Yeah, I think I actually ended up getting the best linebacker in the draft. When I thought it was going to be this guy.
I agree. Because I think that I draft way like once when a draft is done before the reveal, I look at my draft class and say, yeah, that's not bad. I did a pretty good job this season. And then all the nice combine numbers and the bars drop, and it's a shitty draft class, and I scratch my head and say, why am I playing this game? Like, I'm terrible at drafting. I should just trade all my picks away. Like,
yeah, that's how I felt for a number of year seasons now in a row. I just could not draft. I was just trading picks away, and finally this draft I kept a couple, made a couple trades, and ended up being the best draft I've had in a long fucking time.
And then I made a comment on the boards this draft, like Ben's draft analyzer. Like, I look at people that I draft and where they ended up, and people who were drafted ahead of me, and I look to myself, I say, God, like, I drafted better some better players at the same positions, or better overall, and like, why am I only sitting at 19 and that guy's there at 8 or 9? And I'm like, and then Ben explained it a little bit about positions and
the positions
and weights that he uses, which makes sense, but still, like, it gets frustrating looking at that every single season in and out, and you're 19, then you move to 17, and then at the end of it all, you're back down to 22. Like, what the fuck?
Yep.
But all that matters at the end of the day is those players that you drafted, Howie, get you to win games that give you the record.
No, they do. They do. But still, sometimes it's frustrating. You want to draft a player that you think is going to end up in the 60s, and he ends up in the 40s, and like, all right, well, I got to make do with this shitty linebacker now.
Grimm made a comment. He goes, how the hell did Kansas have three offensive linemen in the Pro Bowl, right? And my offensive linemen are rated 40, if you look at them. However, there's
some sort of flaw in the system, because T-Zack used to have his guys in the Pro Bowl too, and all he does is pass. There's some sort of flaw in that system.
No, and I thought pancakes was a huge part of that rating, and you guys aren't getting any of those because you ain't running the ball. So it has to be the amount of sacks they gave up versus how many plays they played. I'm guessing that there's a big weighting there.
All that matters is, like Howie's doing, if they're doing the job you're putting them to do and it works, I can't be sacked. That's what my guys are supposed to do, protect my quarterback. And if it does that, then that's all I care about. I don't care if they're rated 30 at all. All I care about is how many sacks are you going to prevent from my quarterback taking. That's it.
Yep, exactly. So I'd like to know what the weighting is behind that to get your 3 pass blockers in there.
It means nothing at the end of the day. I can care less if they make the Pro Bowl or not. All I care about is if you allowed only 2 sacks a season, I'm happy.
Yep.
I'm happy if my guys don't allow 2 sacks
good
a
for
game.
Getting past.
Yes, Jugs, correct. It's good for us if we pass a lot. And for you guys who run a lot, you want the run blocking where you pancake people out of the way.
You run blocks and pancakes. And
yeah, the key run blocks and the pancakes, yep.
Totally. And that's all that matters at the end of the day. However, if there's a stud offensive lineman out there, absolutely you're going to take him. No questions asked. But if you cannot, like Howie's saying, you get the role players. This guy can fit my system, is going to work for me. And Jugs was trying to tell that to Jay-Z, find a system that you want, and that would dictate the players you're going to get. Now,
So, anyways,
Back
I
to
like
this
the
line.
yeah, this.
I think he's didn't end up where he should have been because I thought he was going to be the best guy. I didn't like the red flag. I always
was
stay away
getting
from
ready
him for
to
some
say
reason.
that.
Still don't know what it means.
Yeah. His red flag would have just been a hard no for me. There's no way I would have drafted that guy.
Yeah.
Not in the first round. Take a stab at him.
I wouldn't have taken him in the 7th. Yeah.
Yeah, you can handle having maybe one of those on your team every year. It's fine.
Look, I was in a league. I took over a team. It had an 80 rated corner, a 70 rated corner, a 60 rated corner, a 70 rated safety, and a 65 rated safety. The 65 rated safety was a red flag. The defense was terrible. As soon as I got rid of that safety, they were best in the league.
Oh, well. So there was empirical data. I was just giving an uneducated opinion.
I was racking my brain. I was literally racking my brain trying to figure out what I was doing wrong. I could not figure out why that secondary wouldn't play better. As soon as I released that guy, we were getting like 3 interceptions a game.
Yep. Cancer to the locker room.
Yep. Get rid of them.
I have to agree with Jugs. I wouldn't take a red flag player at all. I have something about it, like Jugs.
Well, I suppose, you only give them a red. There's got to be a purpose for it in the game. So,
Years
obviously
ago,
ain't a good thing.
Years ago, I traded 3 first-round draft picks to draft a red flag quarterback at 1-1, and he ended up in the Hall of Fame. So I'd take him. I'd take one. I took one before. I'd take one again.
I mean, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Livingston, I know we talked on the show before. I said there was no way I would have taken Livingston. And as soon as Pizak took over the team, the first thing he did was get rid of Livingston. He said he didn't want a red flag player on the team.
Oh, that's right. Vitali was red flag, wasn't he?
Yep.
Yeah. Maybe it matters more
But
for other
Vitali
positions.
But Vitali would also have those games where he would throw 3 or 4 interceptions.
Or fumble 5 or 6 times.
Right. So that comes into play at some point. I mean, you managed to win a lot of games with him, and he played well overall. But maybe if he wasn't a red flag, maybe he doesn't have that bad game every 5 or 6 games.
I fully agree with you on that. I think I joked one time that I think red flags have different. They're coded in the game to be different. So not everybody has the same red flag. And I firmly believe that mine was that he got hit from the backside. He's going to cough the ball up because he fumbled the ball 2 times a game, without question.
Yeah.
Now Motown, he got this.
It'd be nice to say if there was a little more detail in the red flag.
So Moontown's already got 2 solid
I'm looking at his defense right now.
linebackers as well.
He's got a solid defense.
Yes.
So,
But as far as this guy's concerned, it doesn't look like you need him. He's got,
He might have been going with what he thought was best player available.
yeah.
mm-hmm.
And he did look good. I mean, he had a very nice look to him.
Oh, maybe not. He's only got the one linebacker, Adam Christensen, who's real good.
All right. Next up after him, defensive end. Here's a guy that we liked. That Slam got.
You cheese.
So, yeah.
He looks like a steal at
What's that?
that position. He looks like a steal at that position in the draft. I mean, outside the top 10, he looks like a stud. He should be. I mean, I think that's a real good pick.
And his defenses are also good. He puts together.
Yeah, it seems like the seasons where he's real successful is when he has a dominant defense. He had a couple years back. Well, I guess not probably more than a couple now, but a couple seasons, probably 4 or 5 seasons, he had that dominant defense. And then it all kind of fell apart on him for a while, but he's building it back up.
That was a year he went 13-3. He had the rookie quarterback, right?
Yeah.
I think so. Yep.
His defense dominated then. I mean, this is a way different defense than that.
His quarterback did good last season. He 27 touchdowns, 4 interceptions.
Yeah, and he got that Howie Yaki running pretty good, 1,500 yards. And he was the receiver later. He doesn't have any receivers anymore. So Cushman's going to do his last few seasons here without any targets to pass to outside of his tight end and his running backs. So
Yeah. Yaki caught a bunch of passes.
yes, he did. Almost 1,000 yards.
Yeah, he has no receivers. You're right.
That's what I keep pushing for, too. Yep, I'd love to have a running back at 1,000 yards receiving and rushing.
See, like someone like Slam, and it is hard to get receivers. I have to admit. Sometimes you got to package a couple of first rounds, even if you have to do 3 first rounds to get a wide receiver on your team. Someone might say, you know what? Sure. I'll trade this wide receiver.
Ben's always available.
Yeah, speaking of, Chris just traded for 2 wide receivers for Ben.
Because of Cushman.
It turned my stomach to do it, but I had to.
He's getting up there in age. He's 32.
Yeah,
This is already 32. Good Lord.
Yeah, that means Banks is around the same age. Saw's guy.
Yes, he is. They both would draft at the same time. So
Yep, 1 and 2.
He's got maybe 3 more years.
He's probably got 5.
No, he's got more than 3. Yeah, he's got more than 3.
Quarterbacks play damn near, they'll play 37, 38 years.
Quarterbacks play the really good ones play anywhere from 15 to 17 seasons.
Well, I think Witten this year, before he retired, I didn't play him this year. Otherwise, he might have even played again. But I think he was 40 this year.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yep,
That's good to know. I like that.
Yeah, quarterbacks they'll play a long time if you keep starting them.
Yep. You keep paying them, you keep starting them, they'll play.
But I like his defensive end that he picked up.
Yeah, I do. He's going to be good for years to come.
Next up after him is left tackle, Houston.
Ooh.
So,
That hurts.
Yeah, this is another guy that just fell off a cliff after the reveal.
Yeah,
And
because
he looked good.
He looked way better. Yeah.
No, this draft class.
I didn't
was
like
just-
it at all. That's why I'm so surprised I
No.
had one of my best drafts ever. I didn't like it at all.
I mean, I'm thinking about this. This is the first show we've done after a draft where there have been so many players where we've been like, I don't like
yep.
that pick.
Ooh, ow, ooh, yeah, oh no, oh man.
Like, sometimes we can argue like, oh, hey, I wouldn't have taken the defensive tackle at pick number 5, but it's a solid pick, or I wouldn't have taken that tackle there. Like, this is just a bunch of that's just ugly.
No, and that's not what he looked like to me in scouting at all.
I'm glad I didn't take him. He was this guy. There was another tackle that was on my list, and I was debating if I was going to shore up my offensive line or if I was going to take that safety. And I'm glad I took the safety because I had this guy looking much better as well.
Yeah, the only thing that panned out on him was blocking strength.
Was his pass blocking higher and run blocking? Well, I didn't really look at the draft like you guys were.
Everything was higher.
Everything was higher.
He looked like he was going to, well, again, my offensive scouting was terrible, but to me, he looked, almost maxed out on all the bars.
Yeah, well, mine,
Really?
I had him run blocking 74 and 94. Pass blocking, I had 51 and 71.
Yeah.
And blocking strength, I had 80 to 100. And endurance 47 to 67. So
Yeah, but the endurance, how I saw him, the blocking strength ended up where I saw it. The endurance was low end where I saw it. But same thing, run blocking, pass blocking, were almost maxed out
Oof. It hurts when you have a first round pick and it just doesn't pan out.
I mean, even look at his combine. His combine is a killer. Like, his combine shows that his bar should have held. I have no idea what happened.
The 93 volatility.
Might have been a volatility drop.
93?
Yeah, it might have been a volatility drop.
There you
the
go.
combines at least say that run blocking should have stuck.
You're rolling the dice with that volatility, but,
Well, quick, he said something last time when we had our chat. He says, everyone looks at the worst side. It can also go for the
other
good
way.
side, too. But we
Yeah,
never
but so
see
much
the good
less
side.
frequently. I never see. I've seen some guys, bang up after reveal, but it's so rare in comparison to how many guys tank.
Well, for me, it's been the guys I noticed that go to the upside of that, at least on my team, are always guys that I draft in the rounds. So it's like I got this tackle in the 5th round. Let me see what his volatility is. Maybe I can use him as an example. Probably not, though. Jesse McCarthy. Nope, it's not going to be that because he's only 58. So, but I've noticed a couple times I got guys with high volatility that I get in later rounds and they go up. But even my linebacker, he's got a 75. He ended up way better than he ended up, like I said, I think being the best linebacker in the draft when he didn't look like he was going to be the best. So, but yeah, VOSD for this guy, I think.
Yep. Same. We'll stick it in the shorts.
Yeah. So next up after the tackle was Frederick took this cornerback.
I liked him. He was.
I didn't have him that good. He bumped up. I didn't show him that good.
What did I show him as? I'm pretty sure I saw him about like that. 'Cause I'm pretty sure he was the guy I was looking at when I ended up having to go back to the linebacker. The next pick.
I think according to my scouts, he looked like a max 58 rated player.
He looked pretty good on me. As far as like man bar wise, he had 67 of 100. Bump and run was high.
Play diagnosis. Punishing hitter.
Yep.
The only thing I saw him fairly low was interception and endurance. But everything else was pretty good up there. Zone defense was a little low. But yeah, he looked like he was going to be a 60, 65 rated cornerback.
Yeah, he was on my priority
list. He did bump up some. I mean, 71, future, that's pretty damn good. But I was guessing he was going to be a 65-ish rated guy.
I like
him. After losing Braxton Collins in free agency, I really needed a corner.
Yeah, I like him. I like the interception to be higher, but I like the pick. I don't care about, because I learned this from Howie, the endurance. It doesn't bother me too much.
Not so much on the secondary.
I think you also mentioned it too on one of our chats with Howie about the endurance for secondary.
Yeah, it seems like they can pretty much. I mean, he would probably show as having some concern, because it's pretty low. But you could still probably use him in all your 3 wide receiver sets, 4 wide receiver sets. You might have to take him out of like the 2 wide receiver sets.
There's no way he's going to play against the 2 wide receiver, the 3 wide receiver, and the third down set.
Yeah, no,
he's not going to play in the 3 main ones.
Right, but you
have to pull him out of 1.
You could play him in the 3 receiver sets, play him in the third down set, and get him off the field in some of the other situations. And he'll be just fine.
Middle of the first round, I don't have a problem with him.
No.
Oh, that's a good pick.
Solid pick.
And next up after him, here we go, C-Max. What do you mean? Oh, you got a good pick here. What are you talking about?
I'm so tired of picking
another
3 years.
Another linebacker.
3 years in a row, I've picked linebacker. Now, granted, I'd have had to figure something else out if the guy from 3 years ago actually panned out, but that Fagundis guy just went to absolute shit on me. He went from a guy that looked like a future Hall of Famer coming out of college to a guy that was on the streets running unemployed, with a 19 future rating.
Hey, you just got real quiet, Chris. Oh, there you go.
No, sorry.
No, you're all right. You came back.
But yeah, I mean, Fagundis just totally tanked. I mean, that season, actually, I had 2 first-round picks. Fagundis at linebacker, who looked like a super stud, and then I can't even remember what the cornerback's name was, but he didn't even make it out of training camp.
No, I remember
that. Fagundis was gone 2 years later. So, yeah, 3 years in a row I've taken a linebacker, and this guy, he looked a whole lot better to me.
He did.
Before the reveal. I mean, he looked like he was going to be an 80-rated guy.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be. Well, I mean, his run defense and pass rush technique were a little low, even in my scouting and conscript, but everything else was maxed. So he took a dive from what he should have been.
Yeah, he's not nearly what I thought he was going to be. I mean, he should be a good player. I mean, he's my second best linebacker for sure, but it's not what I was hoping for. And I just didn't want to take another linebacker, but I can't trust my offensive scouting, and I didn't see anybody defensively that I thought was going to be a better fit. So I went with it. I don't know. I mean, we'll see, I guess.
And that, it seems like then, like we talked about, it's this draft class, a lot of hits on the players.
You know,
Yes.
except for the guy that went next, who I should have taken instead of Graham. What do you do?
I actually like this. I'm not a linebacker kind of guy, but I would take this guy.
Yeah, his own defense is high enough for me to be content. His run defense is not as good as I would like for my linebackers. But I mean, he'll be good. But
Yeah, he'll be a great coverage guy.
you know, I just don't. He's like I said, for middle of the first round, I just hate taking linebackers, especially if I mean, the guy I took last year, Cox. Now that guy turned out like a guy that I'm comfortable with the fact that I took him in the middle of the first round.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's a beast.
You know, his own defense is a little low, but he was a stud.
Yes. So is this how you saw Norfolk?
Yeah, well, Norfolk, I didn't see him having as good run defense and pass defense, but his zone, everything else was
maxed on mine.
was maxed out. Yeah, I mean, even his zone defense was in the near maxed out range for me.
So you thought you were going to get a second Cox kind of
yeah,
player?
I was thinking, which is what I expect if you're going to take a linebacker in the middle of the first round. That's what I'm hoping for, because nobody wants to take a linebacker in the first round. I'm hoping that I'm going to get a super stud if I have to take one.
How good is your defensive scout? What's his scouting?
Let me see. What is my?
He's in the 80s, ain't he?
I think so.
So
What's his scouting and what's his interview?
Let me go over here. Go to. All right, so let me get over to my coaches here. Sorry, my internet's for whatever reason moving awfully slow here. All right,
You got 74 scouting and 49 interview. Oh, and this is Mass Lewis's old defensive end, Richie Piotti. Huh.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a 74 scouting. I don't generally do too much interviewing, but the 74 scouting, I feel pretty comfortable. I'm getting a decent read. I mean, he's not excellent, but he's a whole lot better than my offensive coordinator, who, like I said, I think what's Alt's got a 18 for scouting, so I don't trust my offensive scouting at all. Yeah. Tried to get rid of him, but I want to stay with the Air Coryell, so he was, when I did my little figuring in the, not the conscriptor, but the staff draft
tool.
There wasn't a whole lot of options of any, I mean, there wasn't anybody better than Alt and Air Coryell. Air Coryell's a tough one to find coaches for, but I'm afraid to change away from it since it's done so well for me lately.
well, let's see.
Okay.
This is Grimm's linebacker. The next guy up, Foster.
Now he looks about like I saw him. He didn't change much. He went up a little bit. Foster went up a little bit. Norfleet went down a little bit.
Yeah, Foster went up on mine too.
Yeah, I was seeing him at like a 65. I was seeing him looking like like what Norfleet ended up turning out to be, with the exception of the pass rush technique. I saw that being fairly low from the get-go.
Now,
But
Grimm.
he bumped up in that bottom section. From his zone defense down, that's what I saw in Norfleet when I was scouting him.
Now, why did you pick Foster? What was it that you were looking at on him?
I guess he wasn't even on my priority list the entire time. I wasn't thinking about getting a linebacker. I already got. I'll pull up my linebackers because I just got Jug's old guy, and I got what's his face? I got Grady Francis
In red.
and
Edgar
Red. So I think at that point I already got Francis. Maybe not. I can't quite remember now, but Foster wasn't even on my radar. And I'm like looking, it's up, my pick's up, and I'm like, you know what? Let's not get blinded by the fucking affinity blinders and go dig around and see who else we can see in here. I'm digging around, and I see Harrison Foster. I'm like, fuck, man, Edgar Red's 30, and I should probably get another guy. Another guy with
Francis
enough.
isn't that great with zone defense. He's a good weak side linebacker, but
Right. And another guy that has the endurance to play every single formation, and this guy was it. So that's what kind of led to the pick. And then I guess looking at my conscriptor on him, he doesn't look much different than I had him scouted as. So, but from when he hit the roster to PS2, he did go up. I think he's going to be great. He's going to start right away. He's going to have a great career here. So,
But was it the run defense also that got? Besides, I know you like zone defense, but
yeah, that
also
run and
defense?
zone. Yeah,
Okay.
run for the middle linebackers, zone defense. That's all that matters. I mean, those other bars are nice
Endurance.
too. The play diagnosis, the endurance.
Punishing hitters nice. Forcing fumbles is a good
Yeah,
thing.
I mean, linebacker for me, it's run defense, zone defense, endurance. Play diagnosis
Everything's great.
would be nice too, but everything else is just a fucking bonus.
Got it.
I'm with you, Grim. Run defense, zone defense. Pass. I don't usually blitz much, so pass rush doesn't mean much to me. I don't run a lot of man to man, so man to man doesn't mean much to me. Bump and run doesn't mean much to me. So, run defense, zone defense, and anything else below that's a bonus.
Yeah, now that I got Francis, if I can get some of his, I mean, I may be able to blitz a little bit more. I've always been leery on blitzing because Edgar Red was always my best zone coverage guy, so I want him, playing in the zone, and I don't have anybody else to blitz. And now with this, I think I can do something with these guys for the next 3 seasons.
Get
That should be really
some
good.
blitzing going on.
Yeah, no,
Yep.
that's a solid linebacking core. I'd be excited about that.
Yep, and I got them all for 3 years at least. So I'm gonna have fun with this group, hopefully.
Awesome. That's why we have to look back at our draft picks to see how well they do, and other people's, and also see when people make these contracts. Because when Jugs took us to the salary thing, that salary screen, and what people are paying, I want to do a show where is this player living up to the salary it's being paid? And I've seen a lot of players being paid enormous amount of money, but they're not really doing jack shit
Yep.
for the money they're being paid.
Now the problem is,
Yeah,
a
I
lot
got a
of times
running
you have
back
big.
on my team just like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you have big plans when you sign them to that big money, and then you're stuck with their contracts, depending on how much bonus you put into it.
Jugs, didn't he go down in ratings as soon as that
Well,
year that you
right.
signed
He
him?
The year I signed him, he dropped like 8 or 9 points.
Of course that's going to happen. You know that's going to happen, right?
And he was only in his 5th year. So
Yeah, and that was
just-
Harden. Bernard Harden.
right.
Just like,
Sometimes a change of scenery helps. Sometimes it bites you in the
and
ass.
unfortunately, when running backs even drop that 8 or 9 points, which isn't that big of a deal, it's always to their fucking hole wreck,
Well, his whole record is still decent, and I didn't understand why he struggled like the first season he played. Like he averaged less than 4 yards a carry.
Yeah,
And I
3.
kind of figured him out last season. Now, last season he had a much better year, but yeah, that first season was just a disaster.
Yes, it was.
But Grim, that shows you that whole rec is very important for running backs. If their ratings are going down, it's because of their main bar, whole rec, is going down. For instance, a defensive tackle, if their run stopping goes down, their ratings go down.
Yep. Yeah, no, hole wreck has always been the most important for running backs. I mean, you see Mass Lewis got a guy. Swear to God, I don't think he has any stats other than hole wreck, and he's getting them 4 or 5 yards a carry.
And that's it.
Julio had a guy like that in another league. I mean, I think his whole rec bar was something like 82, and everything else was like under 50. And he was getting like 5.5 yards a carry with it.
And
Yeah,
it
Ronaldo Bilodeau on Mass Lewis. So he's got 79 hole wreck and 82 elusiveness, and he ran for 1,300 yards last year.
There you go.
And that's all he's got. I mean, a little bit of breakaway speed, no endurance, so I don't even know how he got that.
And it goes back to Howie's role players. You just put people into the position to succeed, and that's what they're doing. If you know how to
If he's
put them
playing
in.
in 1-1-3 and 1-2-2, he doesn't have to have any endurance. He only needs to play those two formations.
Yep.
Eric
And-
Barker, listen to me, Baker, defensive end.
And on that, gentlemen,
I
I'm
thought
out
that
of here.
was a reach.
5 o'clock comes early.
You got it,
Yep.
Howie. Howie,
Later on,
thanks for coming on.
All right,
No, hey,
brother.
Great talking to you guys.
Yeah,
Have a
good talking to you, man.
All
Have a
right,
good night.
Howie.
Defensive end,
I
what do you
thought
guys
that
think?
pick was a reach.
Yeah,
I
he
thought it
was
was a reach,
defensive
but I didn't think
tackle
he
that he
would drop
moved,
to
but
47.
yeah, no, I saw him being a 50, 55 rated guy is what I was thinking. But yeah, he had, it looked like he was going to have good run, defense, pass rush, and pass rush strength. But the rest of it was all real low, and he didn't have any. He was a no workout, no combine guy. I mean, that's just a risky player, and
Right.
it burned him.
Yeah, he's going to be playing. Well, yeah, he moved him to left end. He is a 3-4. Yeah, I didn't like the pick, but I didn't see him as much anyways in the combines.
If he would have looked, if he'd have turned out like he actually looked pre-reveal, I mean, he would have been a real good quality 3-4 defensive end. But again, with no workouts to no combines to go off of, yeah, he just didn't. It was a tough pick, and it obviously went the wrong way for him.
Yeah, it is with no workout, and he's 24 years old
Yep,
at the same time.
and he's got no endurance,
All right.
and he
No
can't play special
intelligence.
teams.
Yes.
Yeah,
On top of that,
it just ended up being a bad pick all around.
Yep.
live and learn, right?
Yeah, I'd be surprised if he lasts on his roster even 2 seasons.
Because he's going to want the big bucks. Would he want the big bucks because he was picked in the first round? I wonder if the system's set up that way.
He's going to be cut before he even gets to that point. I just can't see this guy lasting on the team for 4 seasons.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he could be a serviceable rotational guy, but I mean, he's got that big, that big bonus he's going to have to pay him. So, but yeah, it's going to be tough to pay him 11 and 13 million in 2 seasons.
Well, think about it. If he cuts him after the second season, he owes him $13 million.
Yeah, so the bonus might convince him to keep him for the 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
But if his renegotiation isn't something in the near league minimum range, it'll be, he'd have to go. If he looks like that 4 years from now. But my guess is, sadly, he'll probably not even look that good 4 years from now.
I was getting ready to say, I think he's going to drop even lower.
Yep. Yeah, he's already 79% developed. I think 44 is about as good as he's going to get.
That sucks.
Yeah, that was a tough pick. I mean, if I was running a 3-4, I could see where he was thinking that might work out, but there were just too many X factors in there with no combines, and everything was already pretty low.
Was the endurance on
The
this?
low school.
Was the endurance on this player higher on your
Uh,
script?
Yeah, I saw it in the 43 to 73 range.
Really?
Everything was higher, but he didn't look like a 70 or even mid 60s round pick. Like, he looked like he'd be somebody somewhere between maybe like 52 to 56.
Yeah, and the big red flag for me is not that the bars mean that much, but I mean, he was a 0 on man zone, play diagnosis. I mean, he had a lot of 0 bars, and play diagnosis
Right.
is one that's important. But there was not a whole lot about this guy. Highly developed, poor, no combines to go off of. Yeah. I mean, I if you'd have panned out the way I'm seeing the bars in the conscriptor, I can see taking him, and moving him to 3-4 defensive end, and he would have been all right. But he still wouldn't have been great in my mind. So, if you'd have panned out all the way, it still would have been a pick for the first round. But it didn't pan out at all. Everything that could go wrong did.
And Harlan picked a safety.
And that's the guy you got to move to cornerback because he's pretty useless with that zone defense. But as a corner, I think he looks all right. And his height and weight.
As a corner, he looks fantastic, right?
Yeah.
But he still has him as strong safety, which I don't understand.
Yeah, I mean, he's playing him at strong safety too.
Yeah, I don't get that.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't play that guy at nickel. He'd be my left or right corner, and he'd be a starter. But I wouldn't get him in any zone position, which nickelback.
Well, here's his right cornerback, so he'll probably keep him at right cornerback. His left cornerback is aging, so maybe he's waiting for this guy to retire. Let's see what his contract's like. He's got one more year. So
Well,
Would you
he
switch?
could put his right corner. He could put his right corner at nickel. That's what he should do.
You mean this guy, Frizzle?
Frizzle should be playing nickel in his three wide receiver packages.
Yeah, no, he'd be a great nickel.
Ooh, is Ezekiel Thomas or
Frizzle.
Frizzle, yeah.
No,
Yeah,
Frizzle,
Ezekiel Thomas
Frizzle
needs
should
to
be
move
playing
to
nickel.
left or right.
Yeah, he's got to play corner.
So would you play this? So he'll be safety, Walton, right?
No zone, man.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd start Walton over Thomas at safety for sure.
But he has Walton as a free safety. So he has this guy as free safety.
See,
Walton.
Walton should be the strong safety.
Yep, with that run defense for sure.
Yeah, he should be the strong safety.
And then have Frizzle,
Playing nickel,
Thomas as right corner.
left or right, either one.
But then he doesn't have who's his nickel
Go-
right here.
go to the guy at
he's
the
got
bottom.
What's Nylander?
He's
You know,
got
what's
this
Nylander
guy's
look
nickel.
like?
Who?
Yeah, he can play corner, but Nylander, free safety Nylander.
What's Nylander, the free safety?
Here we go.
Yeah, that guy can
that's
stay
his
at free safety.
right there.
Yep, for sure.
There you go. And he's 26 years old.
I'd love to have the secondary. Mine sucks right now. Really bad.
I was getting ready to say, if you put these players in the right position and runs the right defense, this should be a very, very good defense.
Yep.
I don't know, man. I spent a lot on my secondary this year fixing them and getting them all affinity again. So here's hoping I'm not number 32 or 31 in pass defense.
Yeah, every time I have a great secondary in my mind, I end up having the 31st pass defense.
Yep.
Yeah, but it could be misleading if you're playing Ben and T-Zach. So
That's true.
because you already know they're going to throw the ball 50, 60 times a game.
Well, good.
And we put up a fair amount of points too, so we are facing a lot more passing than running.
My defense, I don't care if I'm 32 in pass defense, yardage wise, but if I'm getting the fucking turnovers, man, that's what really matters. And last
and the
year I
scoring
wasn't getting the
defense is
turnovers.
what really matters. I mean, I don't care if I give up a million yards in between the 20s if I'm keeping them out of the end zone and they're not scoring.
Yeah,
I'm fine with
I
31
look at-
pass defense if I'm 15 for scoring defense.
Yeah, I look at points allowed and turnovers. Those are the two things I look at. I could care less about yards because, like I say, when you play people like T-Zach and Ben and even Clay now, they're going to throw for 400 plus yards, and it throws the stats out for the season.
And Hanley.
Yep.
Yeah, but you're right.
Yeah.
Points per game.
And I got him twice.
That is points per game and turnovers are the key thing. If your team is turnover the ball, because you can run down the field and you can get into the red zone and turn the ball over, it's all for naught.
You just ran time off the clock for your opponent.
Exactly.
Yep.
And if you're just kicking field goals, again, it's all for naught. I like his safety.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't play him at safety.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's the worst safety drafted in this draft, unless you play him at corner, and then he's one of the best.
There you go. The next up, Swift. I do not like this guy at all. Bordeaux, I know he probably saw him different, but this, you can't say volatility because it's a volatility of 3. So something he saw, or his scouts saw, that made this guy a pick.
Yeah, I didn't even like him in Conscriptor as I was seeing him.
I had this guy as the third best rated wide receiver, and he dropped. I had him behind the guy I drafted in Aragoose.
No, he definitely
he
fucking dropped. But the combines were basically everything was blue except for broad jump. He didn't have any red, so nothing super great there. But yeah, that route running just screwed him. I mean, I was showing 48 of 68 in Conscriptors, so yeah, he definitely dropped from what I was even seeing him as.
Because if you look at his combines, he had a Solmex score of 33, so his route running should have been higher. However, his adjust the ball is also attached to that. And look at his adjust to the ball. It's high. So it probably knocked down his route running. His position drill is 55, which is nice to have. His agility is 7.11. I like it to be under 7. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think he did take a hit, even from what I saw in the conscriptor. So
That's a tough one.
but I mean, does he even need wide receivers? You know, he's got Tyrese McCartney.
Well, this guy's 32.
Route running suspect.
It's probably
for
going to
number
drop
one.
next season. And his quarterback, you know, he just got this guy, and he's trying to work with him. He threw too many interceptions last season.
Yeah, Tyrese
Well, he
Dennis.
throws too many passes, period. Like we talked about him a few months
season
back.
4,
Like,
yeah. I mean,
he
he's
just
throwing
throws too much. Yeah.
788.
Yeah, throwing almost 800
But
attempts
I
every
think,
season.
you know, I think a lot of folks are
at a
trying to get into
50% rate.
that highfalutin offense. You know, nobody wants to run anymore. So,
Sosha does.
well, I know, but you want to run in general, and you keep trying to get
I can't
running backs
run.
to do it with, and you
I can't run intentionally. All I can do is hope like hell that Sosha has to scramble, which isn't a problem giving up, you know. I think we gave up like 47 sacks or 48 sacks on the season, and he ran for 1,000 yards on all scramble play. There wasn't a single intentional run out of the mix. The guy was under pressure constantly.
Yeah, see, so these are his wide receivers. He has Lincoln, okay, and
Route running. Ugh.
and then he has this guy.
Route running.
And so I guess he was hoping to grab the other wide receiver in the draft, Swift.
I mean, this goes back again to those wide receivers are okay if you're not throwing the ball 800 times a year.
Yes.
Yep.
You know, if you're throwing the ball 400 to 450 times a year and you got a running game, those wide receivers are all fine.
Yeah. Target them 80 to 100 times a season at the most. But if you're throwing the
And
ball
the guy
out
with the
200
really,
times,
really right, the guy with the really, really low route running bar, just target him twice a game.
yep.
Well, this is
Hit
his running
him
backs.
on like a
fellas.
deep fade or a corner route twice a game.
Well, this is his running backs right here. So I guess the one
Well,
in
that's
the
not
middle,
gonna work.
Cole, is his number one.
Yeah,
Moss and Davenport.
That ain't gonna.
So
that ain't gonna
basically
do it.
So basically he doesn't have any running backs.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, those guys ain't suitable for any role. I guess. No, not even. I mean, not even as a third down back.
They can't even play special teams.
Yeah, no.
Nope.
I mean, honestly,
Oh, that's
there's
bad.
nothing redeeming about either of these running backs.
Like,
He needs
I mean,
to
seriously,
fix
all
that.
three of them are terrible.
Yep.
Like,
I at least
seriously.
have a running
I mean,
back
you
that's
can't-
like 100 special teams. You know.
right.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. Like,
make them
even if
useful
you
for
got
something.
Somebody on the team, right. They need to serve some sort of role. Like he can't use those guys for anything.
Well, and he didn't either.
Yeah.
No, is everyone?
I mean,
no, and
none
this
of
is the
them-
guy.
they do anything.
His fourth. Yeah, Fulton. Well,
And he got the
Two of
most
them are
attention out of
first-year
everybody.
guys.
That dude, that fullback, got more attention than everybody else.
He
this
should
guy.
have. He's better than the rest of them.
I don't know. They all. Well, yeah, I guess a little bit.
This guy.
No, he's not.
Dude, he's better than the three running backs they got.
He's
No,
got
he's
59
not.
special teams. So
No, Cole is the better one out of all of them.
at kick
Yeah.
returning,
He give you kick return.
Yeah, I suppose he's got. Well,
However,
I suppose there's a reason that he passes 800 times a season. He certainly can't do anything with these guys.
there you go. And so he has to pass, guys. He doesn't have the running back to do
Well,
on
and
the
at
running
least-
game.
Swift should be a reasonably
means you
decent
sign a
return
running
man.
back that means you sign a running back in free agency or you draft one in the first round.
Yep.
Yeah, and
Problem
that's-
solved.
and Elf is always near the top of the draft. I mean, he was down a little bit further this year, but there's always great fucking running backs at the top. You know, well, except for this year, there's
I mean,
only
he
the
could
one
even-
guy.
Right. He could even drop back a few spots and still get a decent running back in the middle of the first round.
Yep.
Yeah.
True, because this was a waste of pick. This guy is not going to be on the team,
Yeah, he can use him. He might. I mean, keep him as a return man. I mean, he might pan out as a return guy.
Well,
I mean,
yeah, but guys,
because you can't cut him right now with all that bonus money. So you might
No.
as well do what you can with him. And right now, he looks like your best option
But-
is to use him as a return man.
if you look at his O line, dude, he is fucking solid. If he had a elite running back, he'd make the
Or even a
playoffs.
mediocre running back.
Well,
Well,
someone.
we're
with-
assuming that we're assuming he'd run the ball if he had a running back.
Well, that's true too.
yeah, but great O line there.
Yeah, his O line. Here's his O line right here. Solid. His tackles, solid.
Yep.
Well, he's got a lot of first round starter. I mean, what 1.4 on Wolf? What did he? Second rounder on Flowers.
Well, that was your old guy.
Oh, that's right.
Flowers.
I traded him. That's right.
Yep.
That was my guy. And then he got
Bernard Farrell was free agency from Tucker, I believe. But yeah, just with that O line, if he just even had a guy with over 50 hole wreck at running back, and then he chose to run, even half the time, that's a playoff team right there.
The problem is that he paid a lot, I believe, to get this quarterback in a trade.
I think wasn't he a free
Was
agency
it trade or
guy?
free agency?
That's
Thought
a
he
good
got him
question.
I
Hold
thought it
on.
was a free agent.
and he's only costing him $29 million.
You're right. It's free agency. He got him in free
Yep.
agency.
How the hell is he only paying him $29 million?
Yeah,
I think the guy sucked when he got him.
Yeah, but even at that, good
But
lord.
doesn't the game still register him higher?
He renegotiated twice already with this guy. So
I suppose if his numbers have been I suppose throw 32
he
interceptions.
signed
and
him
he'll
for
take
big
less
money, and I wanted to go after him, but he signed him for 4 years, $120 million, and he's been renegotiated with twice now. So
Well, that's only $30 million a year.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
low as shit.
that's good for that quality.
True, but you don't want to. I know you don't want to throw 32 interceptions.
If you can get him to but that I don't know if that's I don't know if Dennis has ever really had the right opportunity to be really good.
Let's.
Well, I know
see,
he was on
Didn't
Houston
he
for
go
all
from
those
being
years.
but Houston didn't pass that much when they had him.
no, if you look at
I don't
him,
know that they had the wide receivers.
he was almost Dennis. That is 1-to-1, touchdown to interception, his whole
whole
career,
career.
except
Except
for
for that
this
season.
one time. If you look at it, his interception ratio to touchdown was almost 1-to-1.
Yeah, so maybe he's just one of those X factor, always going to suck guys.
His avoid interception bar must be terrible.
That's 27.8.
Oh,
Well, there you go. Well, that's the answer right there.
And this is the type of quarterback where we brought back where we said allow him points per game and turnovers. This quarterback will lose you games. And I had a quarterback like that.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'm surprised.
And,
like last year,
he's magnifying it by passing so much.
Yep, exactly.
but with that O line, last year this guy took 39 sacks, and he has a sense rush of 84. That doesn't make sense to me either.
Well, I mean,
It's the
if you
game
pass
plan.
800
It's the game
times,
plan.
I mean,
Yeah, I suppose he
that's
passed
a
800
lot of
times, and that's a lot of
ratio
long
wise,
routes.
that'd be like a normal passing team getting 25.
Yeah.
We can look real quick. So that's Bordeaux.
Now he could be passing to that tight end a bit more, Peralt. Unless he is.
So he threw 232 medium passes and 123 long passes. And I would guess that's probably where the overwhelming majority of his sacks and then interceptions probably came from.
Yeah. Yeah, and Peralt.
But even his short passes, he's only averaging 4.9 yards per attempt, which was last in the league on short passes. That makes no sense.
He needs to get this tight end more passes, more yards. He's only has 756 yards for a tight end like this. It should be more.
Yeah, those targets should be up at least. probably 180, I bet.
Because he's your main target, this guy.
He's the best route runner on the entire team. So I'd probably target that guy another 50, 60 times.
But he's probably getting, you were saying on Jugs that he's throwing a lot of long passes. Is that correct what you said?
He had 123 long passes. That's what, 8 a game.
I bet you most of his interceptions came on those long passes.
What is his play coaching style? Because I throw a lot of long passes too, but I'm Eric Coryell.
It's West Coast.
The point.
His is West Coast.
No,
I just looked at it.
Yeah, that's a lot of long passes for West Coast, which is supposed to be just short timing passes.
Yeah, dink and dunk.
He should be throwing a ton of slants.
And
Slants and short outs and digs and.
well, Swift, let's see, he's going to be on special teams doing stuff.
Yeah, here's hoping.
Next up is a tight end. Again, didn't this guy show better? But I still like this tight end, actually.
He looks exactly like how I saw him. The tight end that was drafted after him, I had as by far the best tight end in the draft. I didn't understand why he drafted that guy.
Well,
I didn't understand what he saw in this tight end over the other one.
For me,
Corbin the route running.
Yeah, he had 76 and 96 route running on my conscriptor. And he looked good. So I thought this was a good pick. But again, he just went to fucking shit. I mean, his route running getting downfield will probably still be good, but these bars are not as I saw him in conscriptor.
Yeah, I guess, if you disregard the run, pass, and blocking skills, his blocking skills, he looks like a quality receiving tight end. And I don't have a problem with it. If you're looking for a receiving tight end, he looks like he's going to be a good one.
Yep.
And I agree
And
with
he provides
C-Max.
and he provides special teams, ability. So I mean, I don't have a problem with it. I mean,
Okay, so
if you need a
so
tight end,
let me ask both of you this. Let's skip forward 2 picks and look at the other tight end. You all didn't see Reyna better than him?
Okay.
Because I had Reyna.
Here's Reno right here.
I had Reyna as my scout. Yeah, I had Reyna as my scouts is like 12 points better overall.
If you're
and
asking
I
me,
can't argue that at all because again, my scouting was terrible. Both these guys look all world to me. I wasn't basing it on what I saw pre-draft. Well, I'm just saying what I see after the reveal. He looks okay, but I have no idea if he looked better.
So yeah, Jugs, I saw Reyna with those bars, and I think he'll be better at that. But that endurance just fucking turned me off. And Corbin Robbins' endurance is not near what I was seeing it going to be. He was going to be 62 or 82, and it looks like he's barely going to make it over 50. So I think Corbin Robbins took the hit, but I think, yes, Reyna, I think his bars were a lot better. But for me, looking at him, that endurance is like,
I don't know. Still, he can play the 1-1-3 and the 1-2-2, and that's all that really matters. I'd take either one of those tight ends. I don't think the endurance on that guy will be that much of an issue.
and I have to agree with C-Max on that, with the endurance and stuff like that. I think you can get tight ends where you get route running, getting downfield in the second and third round, and not pay so much money for these tight ends. And the rest, I can care less about the blocking. It means nothing to me. And that's just for me. However, Robbins, I think it's a good pick. And Jugs, Reyna, absolutely a great pick as well. Between the two, if I had to choose, I would pick Reyna.
Yeah, I agree.
1,000% on that one. If I had to choose between the two.
Yeah, better overall bars for sure.
But honestly, like I said, I'd be real happy with either one of them as my primary tight end in the 1-1-3, 1-2-2 setup.
Mm-hmm. It seems like it's getting harder to get tight ends, like even with bars like this in the later rounds, because people are snatching them up quickly. So so it's going to be to the point where these guys are going in the top 10.
Yeah, elite tight ends will get drafted in the first round.
Because
I don't know that I'd call. I
wouldn't say either one of these are elite, but I have,
No, but where people are going to start thinking. Example, we even talked about this last chat where, 13 wide receivers went in the first round. Remember that? Right off the bat?
God, how many years ago was that?
It was
You
few
got it right
seasons.
there, Clay.
It was a few seasons back where it was like 13 wide receivers went because of that was the thing to grab. And I have a feeling like tight ends are going to be like that as well. Go ahead,
Hit
Mike.
21. Go back 1 year, Clay.
What do you
I
mean
think there
one
was
year?
9 on your draft thing. Go back to 2113.
No, it was further back. I think
Oh,
it was
check
like
out 2113. There was 9,
1,
1,
2, 3, 4, 5,
6, 7,
6,
8.
But I was talking about up here. It had to be maybe 8. No, not 8.
There's 8 in 2112, 2011.
I forgot where it was. We had a talk about it, and it was like a mob.
It was right there. Look at that. Look at that one right there.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11. All right, maybe it was within reason, like you're saying, Grim. But whatever it is, I have a feeling tight ends are going to start falling into that realm.
Yeah, if they're there, they get drafted.
Well, and the thing is, there's a lot of teams in the league that seem like a lot of teams in all the leagues I play in where they don't think linebackers matter that much, and that means there's a lot of opportunities for tight ends because they draw the coverage from the linebackers, and if people don't have good linebackers, tight ends can have a field day.
Because offense, I guess for most of us, we feel like you can control it more, and offense wins games. Where I feel like both win games. If you can get a defense to hold people from scoring, you'll win games. If you can hold people to only 16 points a game, you'll win games.
Yeah, nope. Yep. I used to have a fucking scary defense, and man, I have not been able to put that magic back together in probably 10 seasons.
I like your pick, Matt. Nice pick on your tight end.
Yep. I'm good
like
it.
The quarterback next. Now, a lot of people love this guy.
I love the pick that Master Lou had was my old pick. That's the pick I traded. And Diaz was one of like the 3 or 4 people I had on my list at 1.19 that I felt would fall to me if I stayed at that spot.
So was this the pick Parrish should have taken?
If he's going to draft a quarterback that high,
well,
yes.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, again, I don't know what he was seeing. The other guy looked like a superstar to me, but after the reveal, for sure, this would be the guy to take. I mean, he looks way better. This guy looks like he can start. The other guy looks like he can't even really hold the clipboard.
Yeah, as far as my conscriptor even looked, I mean, Diaz was way better than Lindsay. And again, his offensive coordinator over there in Paris is like 88 scouting, so that shouldn't have been an issue.
Yeah, I had Diaz like considerably better than the rest of the quarterbacks in the class. I mean, like not even close, like by far better. I was kind of surprised he slid this far. Like I said, I was looking at him and I'm like, maybe he'll slide, and I traded up so he was out of the equation.
Well, and here's Livingston.
Yeah, you still got Livingston kicking over there, so
he can play for.
This will be his last year there.
You think? Let's see.
It'll be his last year. Yeah, he's gonna play Diaz next year. This will be his last year.
You think he's gonna, with how close you guys are all to making the playoffs every year, you think he starts Diaz over Livingston
next season?
Yeah, this season.
Livingston's
No, Livingston has 4 years.
Livingston will play this season, and that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, he'll play this year, and that's it.
Then I'll let him go. All right.
Yeah, he's in his 16th. Yeah, he's in his 16th year. He's going to play this season, and that'll be it.
All right, good pick. Pfizer. Next up, here's a tight end we talked about.
Yep,
Haynes,
like the pick.
Nice pick. He's going to be solid. And then after him was another safety, Arizona.
I loved this guy. Absolutely loved him. Look at his combine. 27 bench, 51 position drill, 4.43 for a safety. absolutely love this guy.
Yeah, 6'2", 220, 21 years old, definitely.
Yeah, he may be the best safety in the draft. You would think that run defense bar would be a little bit higher than that, though.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, but I mean, everything else is just like perfect for a strong safety.
Yep.
Honestly, he could probably play free safety.
Now, Millman's defense last season was pretty solid, so he's adding to it.
Yeah, he's just building off of what Rick had. I really wish Rick could have made it tonight.
Yeah, I actually sent up a PM on here to jump on if he wanted to jump on.
Yeah, he said they were all subbing and stuff, and he may be able to come on and crash the party because I wanted to come and hear what he has to say about his old team and the direction it's going. So, would have been cool.
Well, this is the pick he had last season, Millman. He picked up this running back, 1,700 yards, 4.69. So he went running game.
Yeah, and that was after trading Krieger.
Correct. So he replaced
He
them.
released Krieger. He released him. He didn't
That's
trade
right.
him.
Yeah, he just released him. That's right.
So
But his cap number was too high.
Yeah.
Nobody was going to take on that cap number. It was just way, way too high.
Well, McQueen was a suitable replacement then. But yes, I do like this safety a lot.
Nice pick. So I got to deal with this guy. Next up is Augusta. Here's a running back that I like that was converted into a wide receiver. Because when I saw this guy, I didn't know he was a running back, and I'm like, wow, Saul got a great wide receiver.
How did he fall that far? Right.
That's what I was thinking. How did he get down here?
I'm just really puzzled. I can't believe his big play bar is actually over 50. Like I say, usually that's the one bar, regardless of how good they look in the changeover, that's usually the one bar that never, ever gets over 50 for a running back switch to a wide receiver. And I'm showing his is 59.
Well, and he had a good indicator there because if you look at the experience markers down below, I mean, he was a 3 for running back, but he's also a 3 for both wide receiver positions. So, and I think that's a good indicator that he might have a chance to be a really good.
Oh yeah, I guess I never looked at that. I'm looking at.
You don't obviously see that prior to the drafting,
right?
I mean, that's after the fact, but maybe that's part of the.
You don't see that
formula.
Once he hits your team because he's got to hit your team.
Well, yeah, you would see it when he hits your team, but I mean, at that point, if you drafted him with the sole intention of converting him, you might feel compelled to do it regardless.
But he did have almost maxed out all the receiving bars on running back, and that there is a good indicator too.
Yep.
Plus the breakaway speed, 72 and 92. I'm showing. I mean, that's going to be, a good indicator. Maybe that's why.
The only combine that was a bad indicator was agility. I mean, that's not great agility for a wide receiver.
What's his name? XCOM from Harlem, the GM. He converted his running back.
Dorenbos.
Who's a stud.
Who was super fucking stud, man.
Yep.
I think he was getting 1,800 yards a season. So, good pick by Saw and converting him.
Yeah, and Dorenbos retired last year he retired. But yeah, what a great conversion that guy was.
No, Dorenbos is still in the league.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Just not on Harlem.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, he is still. Holy shit. Still viable too.
Let's see. Let's get him out for a minute really quick so people can see who we're speaking of. Here we go. This guy.
Yeah, he can still play.
He was a monster. Look at his seasons. 1,500, 15, 13, 15, 14, 14, 10. Then he just panned her off.
But this goes back to what I was saying before. Look at the 1 year, 2108. He targeted him 270 times. He had a catch percentage under 50%, and his yards per target was 5.79.
That's terrible.
You can't just keep throwing to the same guy. Right, you can't keep throwing to the same guy. Right, you have to mix it up.
The next season, he did mix it up, and
he had a much better year.
63%.
Right.
20 touchdowns.
I mean, the
Yeah,
numbers are just
two yards,
exact opposite.
2 yards per throw increase from one season to the next.
Four,
I mean,
four
that's huge.
touchdowns to 20 touchdowns. 4 touchdowns, 16 drops. 20 touchdowns, 5 drops. I mean, just a drastic difference just because of the usage.
Mm-hmm. But he got a lot out of him. Yeah, he was pick number 5. I didn't remember that, but yeah. Hey, it was worth the pick.
Yep.
Produced. Well, let's see if Fredrickson's going to do the same. Now, he's trying to replace Meza, by the way. Now, who is his running backs? It's these two? That's it?
Oh, Garland looks like he'd be all right.
Yeah, so Garland, I guess, is going to
Yeah,
get
I think Garland is the feature back.
Yep, and Whiteside would be a fairly decent third down back if you don't try to run at all.
Well, he knows how to
But
run.
yeah, Garland looks like the workhorse for sure.
So it's going to be interesting to see this season for him. But he knows how to put a running team together. So I like your pick. Nice pick. Then Mas Lewis takes this tackle. Now, this is a nice tackle if he hits his bars. There you go.
Yeah, very nice.
He's going to hit him. He's only 30% developed, and he's already like halfway.
He's 6'5", 315 pounds, 21 years old. I love that they're 21 years old. The only thing I don't like is his intelligence. And maybe that's why he fell.
He'll be a penalty guy. Nobody wants the dumb offensive line. He'll get a lot of penalties, but he's still he's still going to be a stud.
I like the pick. However, I won't pick a guy who's dumb. Just start.
Is always tough. I mean, this point in the round, it'd be tough to pass on a guy like that if you need an offensive lineman. But unless you're desperate for a guy and willing to trade him after a few seasons, I don't like the dumb ones either.
That's a good question. So, C-Max, the guy like this falls to you. Bars are like off the charts, but he's dumb as a bricks. Are you taking him?
Probably not, but I'd be really tempted to. But I when I first started playing in IHOF, I made the mistake of doing an affinity team in yellow. And it was like the short bus window lifters. I mean, we were 80 penalties a season on the offensive line. It was horrible. So I'd have a tough time doing it, but if you only got one of them and everybody else on the line is pretty good in terms of their intelligence, I can get by with one dumb guy.
Yeah, but left tackle's so important.
Yeah.
But that's not even the lowest intelligence you can have over there. I mean, he's at least 20, you know?
Yeah, I mean, he's only drooling a little bit.
I mean, Clay, with his pass blocking, would you take this guy at this point?
No. I said...
He's
okay.
like, no, I missed it. I just got back. Like, nope.
I would take somebody... I put a guy on my team if it's a backup, but if it's going to be a starter, absolutely not. I want guys who are not going to be penalized. I've had too many games that cost me because of that, especially in the red zone. I threw a touchdown, I've read my thing, and I see holding, and they called it back, and we didn't score. We had to kick a field goal, and I lost.
Yeah, I hate that shit. That's why I've always had blue offensive linemen.
Yeah, green. I'm going green, and it's been tough because they're mediocre in terms of intelligence, but it's nothing like it was when I was all yellow on Outer Banks. That was a nightmare, and it took me 20 seasons to try and recover, and I just finally left before that even happened because it was a mess.
Who had Arizona before Rick? Who went bunch of yellow?
Wasn't that Nemesis?
That was
No, it was the goofball who complained all the time.
Mech.
Mech.
Mech. That's Mech.
And Mech had him.
And the league even told him if he was doing chemistry not to do yellow, and he wouldn't listen.
Mm. Yeah, no, I remember some of that. But yeah, Mech pitched a lot of stuff.
So Houston takes this linebacker.
Aside from the endurance, I like him. I mean, zone defense is a little suspect, but he looks pretty damn good.
He, Argot does a really good job of drafting defensive players.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just couldn't get the Tyrus Dennis to work for him, you know. But yeah, no, he's got a great defense. He's got Lamar Hampton to go with this guy.
Yeah.
And he's playing true 3-4, so
Yeah, here he is.
so I don't know. He seems so Hampton seems okay, but both of these guys actually for 3-4 seem a little small.
They're a little light. I mean, they can play in the middle.
Yeah.
You know,
Is he
they'd be all right
3-4?
in the middle.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, they're too small for 3-4.
Yeah, they could play the strong inside, weak inside, but you definitely don't want them at the weak side spot. I mean, you got to have a guy that's 255, 265, 270 in that spot.
Maybe he should change his defense to a 4-3. Now, what was his record last season? Let's look at that. Because I know he did much better. Yeah, he went 9.
Yeah, he won the division.
Yeah, he won the division.
9-7. Yeah, Chris was on a battle with him at the end there.
He put up a lot of points.
Well, we were doing well until the last two games, and Sosha just completely fell apart.
Took a shit. Yep.
I mean, I think he had thrown 5 interceptions all season. In the last 2 games, he threw 6.
He had a solid defense last season. He only allowed 299 points.
Yep, my defense was shit.
Yeah, and that was the best in the no, Gothenburg had the best, but
Yeah.
still,
So
that's
ranked,
really good.
He was ranked number 2 in allowing points.
Yep.
So his offense.
Well, remember a couple seasons ago, he had to let half a dozen guys go because he was way over the cap.
Yeah, Tyrus Dennis
So
was one of those guys. Yep.
Yeah. So his team took a hit for a little bit, but yeah, he's had pretty good competitive teams since he's been in the league.
Yep.
Well, who's his quarterback now that he left? All right, this guy, and these are. Oh, yeah.
He only has one quarterback on the roster. I don't know how that's going to work.
No, he has 2.
He's got 2. So who's
Where's
starting
the other
for-
guy? Hold
Rodney Innes and Morris Montgomery.
Right here.
on. Oh, Morris Montgomery. Okay, I didn't see him.
Yeah,
can't
and
really,
last-
can't
You might as
really
well say
call him a
one.
quarterback, but
Yeah,
might
last
as
year
well say
was-
you won.
Last year he had R.J. Hamadan. Now where did he fucking end up?
Retired, maybe?
I'm looking right now. Just loading this.
In any event, yeah, his defense is going to hold people, but he needs an offense that can score. Now,
He put up a fair amount of points last year. I mean, of course, he had a different quarterback, but
No, Hamadan was just released.
his running game is this guy. No.
yeah, McIntyre.
You just signed McIntyre this year. That's Red Zone's old guy.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
McIntyre is going to be his workhorse, I think.
So, yeah, these are his 3 running backs. So, well, that's a quarterback. Let me take him out of the way.
So McIntyre is going into his 10th season, and he's still rated at 55.
Yeah,
Yeah, had Red Zone stuck with Chicago and kept playing McIntyre the way he was for a bit, I mean, he could have been the Mesa.
Oh, he'd be like
He
Mesa.
could have been a Mesa. This long in the fucking league.
It just goes to show when their bars are at max, you can play these guys into the dirt.
Yep.
Well, Zappa didn't use him at all.
No, and that's kind of where the shit hit the fan there.
All right, let's go to who is the next guy? Quick center. I guess he's going for run blocking. I don't know if this guy took
I
a
don't
shit
know.
on him.
I thought that was a puzzling pick for him.
Pretty sure he tried to trade out of it too. But I can guarantee you he is going to be he's a affinity fit for sure.
Affinity fit for sure.
So let me see.
Yeah, well, yeah, strong affinity. It shows right there. He's got a strong affinity.
Yep. Let me see if I had him looking better. No, I didn't have him looking better. But he was a
I
tackle.
would just never. I mean,
That's-
I've been watching Quick play for quite some time. I just would never think he would draft a center.
He didn't. He was
In
a
the first
tackle.
round.
This guy was a tackle.
He's a tackle.
Yep, he switched him to center, which you don't see very often. But if you look, he had a 3 on the center.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Yeah. I mean, he might be a decent.
Okay, so maybe that's why he doesn't look that fantastic.
Yeah, I don't know. He looks about what I saw him in Conscriptor, but
As a
maybe that
tackle.
moved to
But-
as a tackle.
But this guy you can get in a free agency kind of player where it's just run. it's just run blocking instead of like the first round.
Again, this is quick. That's a strong fucking affinity. You know, that's a strong affinity. That holds a lot of value on his teams. I mean, I can see it.
Well, you know, I don't question Quick either. I mean, he's been a perennial, top
Yeah.
team. So
Yeah.
I don't pretend like I know more than him. I wouldn't pick this guy in a million years, but I suck a lot of times, so I don't know what to say.
No, I absolutely agree with you. He's probably kicking himself saying, damn, this player didn't work out. Because this is a player that you see in free agency.
Right. But, Quick was in the trade block, in the trade block thing looking for a running back. So, I don't
Right,
think.
which I found that peculiar too, because he doesn't run the ball. I thought that was strange.
Yeah, so maybe this is but I mean, dude, he's still got amazing wide receivers over there, and that Luke Dunlop kid he drafted last year is just getting fucking started. So,
I know. That was a great pick, by the way. This guy,
yep.
Yep.
he got this from Paris, right? He was able to get that first round for some reason.
Yeah, but to Jug's
wasn't a
thing too,
quarterback,
he
I
does.
guess?
I mean, Quick has always kind of tried to run. I mean, if you pull up Humphrey shit, he's around the 4,000 yard mark about every season. Percy Humphreys, his quarterback. Just trying to get a read on. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
he's been solid.
so Quick's always tried to kind of run. You know what I'm saying?
Run what?
Run the ball. Like
No,
you get
no.
quarterback
that's not true.
hands off the ball to the running back.
That
But
Grimmer,
just
that's,
look- but
Grimmer,
just look
that's
at-
just not true.
I don't know.
That's
I
not
play
true.
him twice a year, man.
I'm telling you, that's not true. There have been games I played him where he's given the ball to his running back like less than 15 times. He doesn't run the ball. Now maybe he's changing, but I know since I've been in this league as Oakland, he doesn't run the ball. Those runs come from maybe him having a 2-score lead late in the game. He does not run the ball.
Yeah, I guess that'd be something to dig into. I just know that Humphreys barely has 4,000 yards a season, so that means the other 2,000 yards got to come from somewhere. And he's had a running back
And
by
keep in
committee for a
mind-
while.
Well, keep in mind, he also had a quarterback who scrambled a lot, so that was doing a lot of runs. But I'm looking at right now, last year he ran the ball 346 total times. That was like 6th lowest in the league.
Yeah, okay, well that makes sense. I just always remember him kind of running because I know Percy runs a lot. So
Right.
But yeah, I think he's maybe trying to find a little more balance. But with his wide receivers, why do that? You got a guy that can run like that, just fucking throw the ball 800 times a year.
I don't think Quick has changed his game plan probably in the last, I'm going to say 20 seasons in IHOF. And I am pulling up
Oh no.
the last 6 seasons. And the
Dude.
last 6 seasons, he has run the ball less than 400 times per season.
I
He
think
doesn't
for
run
the
the ball.
Yeah, I think for the last 20, 30 seasons, he always starts with that 0-2-3 play. That always seems to succeed.
Well, I'm sure, and we can get him on the forum. He'll probably chime in. This center, he's disappointed in.
Yeah, and I think if I remember correctly too, he was trying to trade out of that spot as well.
Here's Ben's pick. Free safety.
Be a real good free safety.
The zone is there. At this point, we don't never really have anything to say about Ben. Well, this used to be a cornerback. He was drafted as a cornerback with full zone.
Yeah, he came up higher than I thought. think he got a bump. Didn't he get a bump?
He's looking pretty. He actually looks a little bit lower than what I had him at.
He was a cornerback that was converted?
Yep, he was a cornerback that was converted.
Okay.
But the zone defense, I had him maxed out. Play diagnosis, punishing hitter maxed out. Interceptions, I had him 53 to 86. Endurance, I had him maxed out at too. So, I mean, my scout is 80 on my defense. So yeah, it looks like he took a little hit on my end, but still, it should be
You
a
get a
great free
59
safety.
rated free safety at the end of the first round. That's a good spot.
Yeah, and that zone's just going to keep going up. So once that reaches max, he'll be a fine addition.
I agree. Good pick. Then we have Paris again. This is their.
And that's your pick.
That's right. This is my pick. This is from the wide receiver I traded for.
Okay.
He got this pick.
Yeah, that man, another guy that took a hit, according to my conscriptor, dude.
There you go.
Yep, mine too.
So this was one of my picks, and he has another first round here, which is T-Zax right after me. But this is what he got for one of my first round picks.
Yeah, and man, what a bummer. He was supposed, yeah, his bars were way better than that. I mean, the run was, I only had him 29 to 62, but everything else was a lot higher than that.
I'm telling you, this season,
Wow.
the first round picks got brutally chopped.
To be honest, brother, I've kind of felt that way about the last 3 or 4 drafts. Just, I've seen some really good picks and guys panning out, but it just feels like the last few just have not been good. So he's playing 4-3 over. He's playing 4-3 over, so this guy should be a tackle.
That's what I was wondering. Like, he looks like he's a better fit at maybe defensive tackle.
Yeah,
But
he's
he-
already got it.
Without really good bars to be a defensive tackle, though. I mean, that run defense.
Exactly.
Well, now,
he's
but-
got no run.
Well, yeah, prior to, sure.
Yeah. Prior to, it would have been defensive tackle with a great pass rush stuff, but oh man.
Yeah, he took for me, the two best things is run defense and run pass rush technique,
Yep.
and those are gone.
Yep.
Oof.
What's his volatility? 44? That's not.
Tough. His scouts must have saw this guy much better.
Yeah, between him and
Well,
Lindsay,
we all
that's
saw
a
him
rough.
better.
Yeah, we all did.
We all saw
Yeah.
this guy better. He just dropped.
Yeah,
He's
this
got
guy
a-
dropped. for
He's
sure.
got an 82 scouting on his defensive guy, plus 99 player development and 68 young talent. That's a weird fucking hit.
Yeah, that agility drill's not good.
Yeah, that's a tough one for him. Because
Yeah.
Yeah, the agility
He's
drills
right on
for
the
your
border.
for your run defense.
his team,
Yeah.
I always have him making playoffs because I look at his roster and he's picked very good players.
No, we've been waiting for that 8-8 come up here for 6 seasons now. So
And it seems like this draft and the last draft, he got kind of shafted
yep.
picking players.
Yeah, no website. This guy went 38-58 to 44-52. So, man,
Then we have Cap City. C-Max, this is your brother. Middle linebacker. What do you guys think?
I think he looks. I think he looks actually pretty good in the important things. I mean, run defense is good. The zone defense, if he gets up to that 57, it's good. He's got good endurance, punishing hitter, play diagnosis. I mean, he's good. I mean,
but that's another guy on my conscriptor, way fucking better.
yeah. I mean, he took a hit, but I still think he's going to be a starting caliber linebacker. So that's good.
Yeah, he's
But
got
he's
the
definitely
endurance
not
to
as
do
good
that
as he was
zone.
hoping for. I mean, I'm sure he was hoping for a whole lot better because he did
Yeah.
take a big hit in terms of his, his bars from the reveal.
What did he need over there for linebackers?
Well, he did well last season, by the way.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, he beat your
he's been
fucking
doing well.
ass in the playoffs.
Yeah, I was so disappointed. I expected better from us, but yes.
No, and that was actually the best in this league that Andy's ever fucking done. He actually made the conference
Yeah, I was
championship.
real
That was the
happy
first
for him.
time, and it was real good.
Yeah, well, that's going to be his best linebacker.
It
I'm
is.
guessing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it
Well, then
is.
that's a solid pick.
Yeah, he's going to be his best linebacker for sure. Although
Yep, and he's got the endurance
that
to
Clarence
start it.
Hutton's not too bad. I mean, I actually his run defense ain't great, but I like that Clarence Hutton guy.
Clarence Hutton, let's bring him up.
He's got real good zone defense. He'd be a good coverage back or linebacker.
Yep.
All right. Next up is Paris again. He took a safety.
That's
I think that's his best pick so far. I mean, the endurance is an issue, but he's got the bars that are the most important.
To bring him over to free safety, correct?
Yep.
Well, no, even at strong safety, he wouldn't be too bad. I mean, he's going to have good. He's going to have real good run defense. Good
So
zone
the
defense.
thing is, everyone says like,
Good.
so you want the run defense on your strong safety, but
Yeah.
nobody plays cover one buzz. Because in cover one buzz, which I play a shit ton of, because I play a lot of running teams too. It's cover one buzz. Your strong safety plays man.
Yeah, but I mean, I play it, but I mean, I think a guy with 50-ish man coverage or even 40-ish is acceptable for the the handful of times I played in a game.
Yeah, and
I don't play
I played
that
a
much.
I played a shit
cover
ton.
one.
I play a shit ton of cover one, so I think that's where I'm always different because everyone's going strong safety. He's got no man, but he's got zone and run. Sure, that's great, but you still need the man for the cover one buzz shit. But this guy at free safety, yeah, I would play him at free safety.
I would play him at free.
Yeah,
Just 'cause
he'd be a great free safety, but I'd still be willing to play him at strong. But that's just me. I mean, if mainly because I just like the run defense on my strong safety. I don't think it matters that much on a free safety. I don't think it helps, and that's one of his best bars. So why not use it at the strong safety where he gets some use out of it?
Yeah, that zone and that interception. He free safety.
Or play him at nickel. He's probably a better nickel.
Yeah, he'd be a good nickel back too, for sure.
Yep.
Size wise, he's probably better there because he's a little short for strong safety. Yeah, I suppose you guys have convinced me. Nickel or free safety just based on his size, but I wouldn't be afraid to use him at strong.
Yeah, and again, I mean, I just don't know if my scout being an 80 sucks because I had him maxed out on zone defense and maxed out on interceptions, and run defense almost maxed out up to 96. This guy looks like he took a hit too.
Hold on, guys.
All good.
All right, next up is going to be now, of course, he's going to have a great pick. You know that, right?
Well, it's not as great as you think.
For
It's not as
131?
great as you think.
For 131?
I'm looking at Conscriptor. I agree with Jugs. It looks, I mean, still a starter on my team at this point.
He's a starter, but I show him he dropped 8 points on my scout.
Yeah, I don't see the point things. I'm just looking at my Conscriptor, but his bars didn't seem to reach their potential.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right.
I still look at it like if you're getting a 60 rated free safety at 131, you're doing pretty damn good.
Yes, I agree.
He's got zone
what do you
defense.
what do
he's
you
got-
show? I show him as 56, but I guess you guys have him higher.
Well, on Clay's screen here,
I'm
he's
just
got
looking at Clay's screen. Yeah, I don't trust. Well, I guess my defense. Yeah, what do I see him at?
I might have him at 49.60, but his zone could be 69. His bump and run is at 73 set already. His play diagnosis, he can get up to 75. punishing hit 45, but his interception can get up to 68.
Yep.
I'm seeing it very similar to that, although I see overall 58.
I see 49 to
To
59.
well, at least in my defense, he would be a better corner than he would safety.
Yeah, but you play press, though, too, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't play any press, so I've tried it a couple times. I suck at it, so...
And the way these players have been falling with their ratings and stuff like that, what he picked up in the first round is probably like the best outside of what Grimm got, because I like Grimm's picks in the second round.
Yeah, I think maybe we
And that
expect
pick
too
should have
much
been
out of
Iowa.
Milk Pow.
What's that?
Yeah, that's probably the case, but that pick should have been Iowa's. That should have
Yeah.
been one of the first round picks that Iowa got.
Yeah, Iowa should have at least got that one. Which I have no doubt in my mind that Malkpo probably would have like, yeah, sure, I'll give you, my quarterback, this safety, and this first round pick this year, or next year or whatever the fuck it was at the time. I'm sure he would have done it.
Yeah.
And the last pick in the first round is Gutenberg, Julio's pick, left tackle.
Yeah, I had this guy on my priority list from the beginning, but affinity type guy. But
I like him, but it seemed like it seems like he thought there was a guy that went in the second round that he talked about. He thought he would be a better player, and the guy that went in the second round actually did not end up being as good.
no, and this coming up to this point, this was one of the guys I was looking at when I traded my first round for Mass Lewis's third and seventh in the second. And I was looking at this guy, and of course, right after I make the trade, Julio drafts this guy. It's like, motherfucker. But I found other guys, so.
Yeah, and Julio always takes smart players,
Yep.
linemen. So that's a definite on that.
No, but even this guy, looking at my conscriptor, I mean, he looks a little less than what he was supposed to be. I had the run blocking maxed out, pass blocking to 92, blocking strength to 46, and endurance especially. That was supposed to be like up to 52. So,
Yeah, the endurance is the only issue. I mean, otherwise he's going to be a solid player. Endurance will just be a problem. He'll have to do a rotation.
yeah, I mean, I love it. I've said it before. I love endurance on the O-line, but I have enough switch around parts that if someone gets tired, I could just switch in another guy to swap him out and let him rest a week,
I'm surprised his pass blocking is lower than what it should be. Maybe it pops up more later, but it's low for where it should be. We'll see. But that is everyone in the first round. I can't believe tomorrow's week one. Go ahead, Grim. I mean,
do me a favor and
Jugs.
pull up 2.12. Stan Geeb. That's the guy that Julio was originally talking about. That guy didn't end up being anything.
round two.
Oh,
Round two, Clay. Yeah.
Yeah, 212.
212. Okay, right here.
Yeah, he looked like he was going to be really good. Again,
This guy?
what I
Right.
thought would be good.
Yeah. Well, of course, pre-reveal, but Julio said he may regret taking the guy he took and not taking Geeb.
But
Geeb
didn't
actually
look
looked
to be
better
anything.
as far as blocking strength and
Right.
endurance and shit. But wow, he tanked.
Right.
God, he tanked.
He
Oh,
tanked.
thank God. He went to Frederick.
But was
Low
this his,
volatility.
low volatility. Was this his combines?
That 780 agility is awful.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not going to
And
be good for your pass blocking at all.
I think Julio was looking at him because of the soul score, because he's really, really high intelligence.
Yeah, and the
he seems
bars
smart.
actually look pretty damn good too. I mean, the pass blocking was going to be on the low side, but he runs the ball quite a bit. So,
All right, let's see what you guys took. All right, C-Max, where are you?
Linebacker there.
he traded his shit to me, so he moved up to 3.
Yeah,
Oh,
I Yeah.
So this is what you took. You took this running back.
Yeah. He didn't pan out the way I hoped. I mean, he'll be serviceable, but that whole wreck just did not get where I was hoping. Again, though, my scouting's terrible, so I knew it was a crapshoot,
You know what?
but I need a running back.
I saw Bernard pretty good.
Me too.
I thought that was a little puzzling that he dropped too.
No,
And
when
my
I trade,
offensive scout is pretty good.
no, Chris hit me up for the fucking trade. He's like, I want that Bernard guy. I'm like, fuck, maybe I want him. And it was
That is awfully like him too.
yeah, that's well, but he's been on my priority list because he's a fit for. He's a blue guy, you know, got the affinity blinders on. But his whole rec for me was going to be 42 to 62, and I'm like, God, if that could just get to fucking,
Just a 50.
you know,
That's all I was
because
hoping for.
he's maxed out on third down, he's maxed out on speed outside, he's maxed out on blitz pickup, maxed out on kick return, maxed out on endurance. I'm like, this could be a fucking guy. Then he ends up looking like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
kick returner, sure, you know.
kick returner,
I had
third down
Bernard as the
back.
third running back.
Yeah, he's a third down back.
You know what, C-Mac? Prove us wrong and just play him into the ground and see if you can get something out of him.
Oh, shit.
Even though,
That
Yeah.
whole rack
I-
33.
even
Yeah,
though
look at
Yeah.
between
Yeah,
his
just
33
give
hole
him-
wreck.
gi-
Look at the cohesion on my O line. I think the oldest guy on my team is fifth season. And my offensive line cohesion is garbage. I can't run.
Just give him the ball 25 times, no matter what, no matter how bad he sucks.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
keep giving him
We'll
the
call it
ball.
the Randy ratio and see
Randy
how well it
ratio.
does for us.
Seriously. The Randy ratio. Yeah, as a head coach, you probably shouldn't even call that out, dummy.
all right, so this is
So-
what Grim took.
Mike Tice, what a putz.
No, this guy I fucking loved. His bars were low in man and zone. I interviewed him. He was super unrated or underrated. And I'm like going, man, but I'm looking at it. He could be a great kick returner and special teams, so I took him anyways. I knew it was even with the underrated interview, I knew it was a crapshoot where those bars were going to be good or not. But he's going to be a useful player.
He'll be
2-7.
serviceable as a backup, and he'll be a good special teams player for you. So
Yep. I mean, if I could figure out a way to get him on the weak side and utilize that run defense.
And then these are his other two second-round picks that he took.
And I liked them, and they ended up not being as good as I was seeing them, or when they hit my roster at first, Clay. But they're both going to play. I mean, Kurtzman's probably going to be a starter this year, and Livesay or Tito, he's going to probably sit around a year and get some experience, but he's going to be a great pass blocker on the left side, and he'll probably play left tackle at some point. Which my left tackle, I don't necessarily care about run blocking. I want pass defense. You know.
I'm going to be watching Kurtzman, see how he does for you.
No, I don't work him the way you do, Clay. I gotta go start
if he ends up with 750 yards and 6 touchdowns, Justin's gonna be happy.
Yeah, I'm just
There you go.
I'm gonna have to start getting over into Clay's logs and start copying his plays down. And, they're all copycat leagues.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do. Jugs, you didn't have a second round, I see.
No, I did not have a second round pick.
No, and you traded all your picks, didn't you, Clay?
I did. I didn't like this draft, and I got out of it. So
Yeah,
I got
really
a
a
couple
good decision.
seconds and stuff for next season, and then I'll probably package some things together, maybe get a player that I really need next season. Defensive player I need. All right, so week 1 is tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
You guys, who is everyone playing? Do you want to do a quick?
Oh yeah, you can call your games.
Yeah,
We'll call each other's games.
So let's get to C-Max first. So C-Max, so you got Houston coming to San Antonio.
Hey, click that little preview thing. What does that say?
Let's do that right now. Here we go. So we have to call his game, correct? We do.
Yeah. All of us will call his game.
Yeah, we're gonna call your game, C-Max. I'm going to go with C-Max taking this because of Houston. He doesn't have a quarterback.
Nope. Hamadan is gone.
So I'm having C-Max take this game.
What's the score?
13 Houston, and I think 28 or 30. I'm going to say 30, in the 30s for C-Max. He puts up a lot of points.
Wow. You think he's putting up 30 points on that Houston defense?
Yes, I think so, because it's the first week. That's why. It's week
Yeah,
one.
here's hoping.
If it's when it's playing out, no. But week one, anything happens. That's why I always say that for week one.
Holy shit, look at that Fort Wayne game. 101 degrees. Jesus. So for me, I'm going to take San Antonio 23-17, and Bernard is going to rush for 6 yards.
So you're looking for a good game from him then?
Yes.
How about you, Jugs? What are you saying?
I am picking Houston 23-20.
Yeah, I gotta go with Jugs. I got too many unknowns. I mean, I picked up I traded for some receivers from Ben that are going to help because my receiving core was decimated. But there's too much unknown. My O-line still hasn't got any cohesion. I'm thinking it's probably going to be something similar to that. Probably 23-20. I'm giving it to Houston though, even though it's a home game. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, no, I'm still going Houston.
Okay. So then going over to our conference, my division's first. So I have Iowa coming to Kansas.
Oh, boy.
Wait a second. Iowa's receiver comparison is better than yours? No. How is that?
Yamashita and Bradley,
right.
Anhalt,
Yeah, okay.
McKnight. I mean,
That,
he's got studs.
that doesn't include just the route running bars. It's just the overall.
Yeah.
And
That doesn't
Iowa's
mean
favored
shit.
by 11.
Bars
that's
don't mean
comparable to me.
production. Clay gets everything out of his guys.
Iowa's favored by 11? What? So that
Yeah,
means
it's the
Clay's
first
going to
game.
win at least by 11. So I'm
Yeah,
going to go.
If we had betting odds, I would certainly pick Kansas to cover.
Yeah, Kansas at home, 68 degrees calm. Okay, I'm going to go I can't quite call you for a 50 burger, but I'm going to go 40-17. Kansas wins. Maybe 38. 38-17. Kansas wins.
I'm gonna. Is it a home game?
Yep, for
Kansas
Kansas.
at home.
Yeah, he's at home.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna go 35-14 Kansas.
I'm going to go 37-17 Kansas.
No pressure, Clay.
No pressure at all. I like
Yeah,
playing
well, he can
my-
do it.
He's like, you guys want to give me 37
He's like, I got
points?
no
He's like,
pressure. I'm putting up that
37.
every
There's no
game
pressure.
almost.
Come on.
Yeah, no pressure for
If
37.
you're asking for 65, I might flinch.
No, with my game planning, I'll probably put up in the 30s. So I'll say, actually, first game, I'm going to say 28 us, and we'll hold them maybe 21.
Oh, you think that
All
close?
right, here's
huh?
my question before we go any further. Why would you be changing your game plan from last year?
No, I'm not changing my game plan. I am not.
Okay.
I know what I was saying is the first game of the season. So usually the first game of the season is a little wacky, and that's why I'm saying I'll put up only 28 points.
Yeah, that's the wacky part
Okay.
for Clay is the first game of the season. He's either scoring 28 or he's scoring 50. So he's going on the low side.
He's
this
taking
time.
the under.
Because
Yep.
my game plans allow me to score a lot of points. So, but I think I'm only going to put up 28, and I'm playing the division rival. So, you know what happens with that.
Yeah, division games are.
Yeah,
always
you
a
never
little
know
weird.
what's going to happen.
And then Oakland. Who are you playing? Let me get to you, Jugs. Oh, Fairbanks is coming to Oakland. Now Fairbanks has been putting up um, some competition in your division, by the way. You guys are all
He's had
racing.
3 competitive seasons. Yeah, last 3 years he's been competitive. He won the bowl a couple seasons ago, playoffs the year before that, and he went 8-8 last year. So yeah, he's looks like he's turned the corner.
I'm still going to pick you, Jugs. I'm picking Oakland to take this. I'm picking Oakland to be 27 and 21 or 17. Yeah. Fairbanks 17, Oakland 24. I mean 27.
Let me see here.
He's got Washington.
Jugs knows how to work his running backs very
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
And then he has
He's
his
got solid
quarterback
defense.
that he just...
I'm gonna take Jugs. I'm gonna take Oakland here, but a close game. 20 to 17. Fairbanks has a defense that's not. You don't want to sniff at it here. He's playing 3-4. That's pretty good about stopping the run. 2017, Oakland.
Yeah, I think I don't think it's going to be as close. I think Fairbanks is going to struggle. They only got 4 wide receivers on their roster, and I mean, although obviously Rodriguez is fabulous, I just don't know. Yeah, I'm thinking.
Oh shit, he's got Howie's old guy, Curtis
20,
Dixon, huh?
28-13. Fairbanks on a losing end there.
Jugs, don't be bashful.
I got to pick my own game.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you gotta pick it. Yeah,
That's what we all been doing.
I'm going to say 27-16. I think I've already scouted his team, and it doesn't look like he has much of a running game at all. And I mean, like I've stated before, I usually do pretty good against one-dimensional teams.
Yep.
All right. I love it. All
Can
right.
I add something?
Sure, go ahead.
Look at my backup quarterback, the guy I drafted this year, 6th round. Love the guy,
Your backup
Reginald
quarterback.
Tyler.
Oh, wait.
He is going to be the starter in 2 or 3 seasons.
I like his
too
timing. I like his cinch rush.
It's too short.
Deep
I don't
pass.
like him.
He's 5'11", which C-Max hates.
5'11" appears to be the cutoff. Yeah,
I don't
5'11"
know, man.
is the
Start
cutoff
him.
in FOS.
Start him. Let's see. Start him this season.
Well, that'll be next year or the year after.
Yeah, okay. For me, his short passes and medium passes are too low. I like his timing bar, and I like his cinch rush.
Good scramble frequency. I think he'll be a good quarterback, but I think he's just too short. But I'm biased. I don't like shorties.
I saw the scramble frequency, and I like that too. I can't recall the last time I actually had a quarterback that actually was able to scramble.
You would
It's been a minute.
probably get a lot of this guy because you don't throw a lot. So with your running game, Jugs, with your running game and a short passing game, meaning that you pass maybe 400 times, right, a season?
Yeah, 25 times a game. Yep.
Oh, and that balanced offense too. That timing be great for that. Sense rush is good, and the scramble frequency I think would help.
So this quarterback will work for you.
And I would have some QB designed runs too.
Which you could make work because none of us else can.
I can't.
Yeah, I can't either.
I tried to mix. I mean, Sosha. I mean, he's blazing fast. I mean, this year it shows as a 4.47. Last year it was a 4.37. At one point he was a 4.31 on his 40, and I couldn't get 2 yards of carry out of him on any designed runs. But he scrambled for 7 yards of carry.
He will. C-Max made a point, Jugs. This guy Tyler would scramble automatic for you and get you to yards compared to setting up plays for him. And that's interesting to see if that correlates, meaning that if you try to make planned running plays for these quarterbacks, do they suck at it as compared
Yeah.
to scrambling, where they get 9 yards per carry or 7 yards per carry?
I had a guy in a league a few years ago in another league. He had like an 80 scramble bar. And I honestly, I don't know the difference in the amount of scrambles versus the design runs that I had for him. But at the end of the first couple of seasons, he was averaging 8 yards a carry.
Yep, and that's where Sosha's at right now. Last season, I didn't have all season long for the entirety of the season, not a single designed run, because the year before I tried it and I couldn't do shit with it. But I didn't have a single design run. He ran 137 times, so those are 137 true scrambles for 1,097 yards, 8 yards a carry. But like I said, when I tried running him intentionally, I wasn't getting 2 yards a carry. Most of the time, it was for a loss.
Yeah, I've never really seen anybody be super successful at designed runs.
What QB design? Like, how are you? What are you setting up? What runs are you doing?
Not this last season, but the season before, I tried a few different things. I tried doing like counter plays right up the middle or dive plays up the middle in a couple of games to see if I could get any running in between the tackles or in between the guards. And then I
had 2 plays
end runs.
I had 2 plays, both out of shotgun. One was weak side, one was strong side, and they were QB counters, and they would get decent yards each time I used them.
Really? Yeah. Like I said, I tried counters up the middle and counters off over the tackles on both sides, and like I said,
mine were over tackles.
Yeah, I never had any luck with the counters or just straight up runs at tackle, and I never had any luck with the dives or I guess what would be a draw play with the counter in the middle.
I think maybe the misconception is scramble frequency represents good hole recognition, and I don't think it does. And
I think it's good. You read the defense, realize you're about to get your ass sacked because you got sacked 45 times. He sees the pressure and just runs.
Yes.
All you would really need to do is position change him to running back to see what his hole rec bar is.
Oh, sure. Well, actually, hold on. Let me see what it says here.
And then cancel out of the game.
Yep.
No, it doesn't allow you to see it. Doesn't it tell you?
It does.
It doesn't say it's going to show you next.
I bet you money it has a lot to do with read defense as far as your running is.
Let's see.
So
let me just transfer it over here.
That's a good point, Grim.
Right.
Because I think a lot of us are thinking scramble frequency. Oh, that's hole recognition. This guy should be able to run well, and I don't think it's not.
No, and so Chris, absolutely right. Your read
so
defense,
Reginald Tyler.
Your read defense sucks on social.
Reginald Tyler's 30 out of 48 on hole recognition.
Say that again, Jug.
Reginald Tyler is 30 out of 48 on hole recognition. He's got a 44 breakaway speed and 71 power inside.
All right, so if I go with Sosha here and switch him over, he's got a 60 of 78 on hole recognition, 72 on power inside, 72 on power inside, 54 breakaway speed, 48 speed outside.
So 60 is 78 on hole rec. But
he's only got a 22 elusiveness.
Huh. But that's something we're going to have to
figure out.
Mine's 14
out of 26 elusiveness.
Yeah, but 60 of 78 on the hole recognition and the power inside 72. Now, it says that he's only going to convert at 63%. So these things would all be significantly
drop way down
after the actual conversion. But yeah.
Now, Clay, I'm wondering with Eichhorst read defense being so high up there, I wonder if he could actually run a couple fucking plays.
You mean if I give him
give like a quarterback actual run?
I would have to try that. He runs well in scrambles.
He runs really well too. Yeah, he's a great scrambler. He doesn't run as much as everyone else, but
which is perfect. He doesn't give me the sacks that, and then of course sacks that come with fumbles. So he'll give me the 9 yards per carry and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Ike, and I'll have him hopefully if he stays healthy forever and ever and ever. He just has to win me a bowl.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Sosha,
dude,
Sosha had
last
8
season.
fumbles last season. That's a lot of fumbles, but he also ran a lot. But
Yes, he did.
he was a leading rusher by a good portion.
I like your quarterback, by the way, C Max.
Yeah, I love him. I just wish I had more around him. My wide receivers got really old really fast, and I'm down to Preston, who's a season away from retirement, and that's why I've been trying to find a wide receiver for years, and I just keep drafting linebackers. So
Bianchi.
I finally
He's gonna
said
be
hell
just
with it
fine.
and traded for Bianchi. I hate to trade with the boss, but he had the player I needed, and he's the nice thing about Bianchi is he's going to be a punt returner. He's going to be my top receiver in terms of route running. He's young enough, and he's going to be a leader. He's got 95 leadership and 87 personality. So once he gets the starts, he's going to be good. And I'm only paying him $12 million a season.
I
Yep.
believe in trade and draft picks to get players you need, because if you're not going to be up in the top to grab these guys, just say,
Right.
here you go.
Yeah, I do it all the time, man. Like I said, I just traded for James Jarvis. I just traded for Braden Borders, Jug's old guy. Hey, we got to call my game too yet.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we forgot about him.
Who are you playing?
Yeah.
Brooklyn.
Okay, here we go.
Brooklyn 42,
So,
Williamsburg 12.
We're all at home.
4 field goals.
Okay. I'm gonna,
So I got a question before I pick the game, although I think I know the answer. Who are you starting at quarterback?
Me?
let's get to him.
Yes.
Machelli.
Yeah.
Hey, now look, listen to me. So I did a little bit of.
Hold on before you answer that. Jugs, Michelli is the same as your quarterback that you were just praising, Tyler.
No,
Yes,
he's
he
not.
is. He's totally
No,
like
he's not.
him. I'm gonna hold on.
No,
He-
Michelli.
he doesn't
Michelli-
have-
no, here's the difference.
Hold on.
Here's the difference.
Let me get him up.
No. Let me. Michelli has an avoid interception bar that's straight trash.
Yeah.
Do these guys almost look similar?
They're the exact same except for deep passes.
Yeah, Michelli's 94
And the-
intelligence.
And I got Reed
Well,
defense.
no, but Tyler's got 78. I don't know, man.
And the avoid interception bar is a drastic difference. Go to the player cards on Ben's site. It's a drastic difference
but-
between the two.
I have a game plan that can reduce interceptions. Michelli threw a little bit more
Dude,
than I wanted to, but it was
He
I
threw
was
18 interceptions.
it was 2-1. It's almost
No, it
2-1.
wasn't 2
man.
to 1. No, it wasn't.
Almost 2-1. 3
It was-
more than 2-1, and he sucked his last couple games. So, but now I took fucking some of T-Zac's route running advice. Hey, if someone's route running is this, target him this many times. I got that motherfucker to 57% completion last year, which is a never for me. My guys are always 50%. So I think I'm on the up and up with this guy, hopefully. And he's got some really good affinities. But yeah, who else am I supposed to start? Fucking Andrew Tobin? I mean, I got two young guys here.
Okay.
He can't play any worse than Maselli played last year.
Michelli actually didn't play that bad. My receivers let
Well,
me
he did
down.
in the Oakland game.
Yeah, well,
He did in the Oakland game.
yeah, well, that's because you fucked me up. I'm looking at your game plan, and you run every time on 2-1-2, so I cover one buzzed, and then you switched it over to throw. So now I know your stupid fucking game, boy.
I love
I'm
it.
watching you.
Well,
Okay,
But yes,
but what does that what does that have to do with your offense only scoring 17 points?
well, that's my usual offense nowadays. I just got to get my defense has got to get better, and I think I made some changes there.
Yeah, what he's saying, Jugs, is he's happy with only 17 points a game, apparently.
So long as I can hold
Because he
people
knows
to
Maselli
13.
can't get him more than 17.
I can. He had some good games last year, motherfucker.
listen, for a 6th round draft pick, he gave you 30 touchdowns. He scored a lot of touchdowns more than other people.
And he ran really well too. You know, not a lot of fumbles. I mean, what did he get me on the ground last year?
But Jugs, these are his two quarterbacks, Tobin and Michelli.
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 Yeah.
But, he ran for 500 and threw for he got over 4,000 yards. So I'm all right with him. And like I said, I think I'd play
Tobin.
Hey, dude, if Michelli fucking starts off, like if we go 0-3 with 3 home games in a row, he's going to get the bench and I'll start Tobin. But, and I actually had to re-sign him because Dickhead fucking held out. I was going to just play him this last year and release him into free agency.
He's getting $24 million?
Yep.
This guy?
hey, this is 21-14. I mean, that's actually chicken scratch for a starting quarterback in 21-14.
No, that's a lot of money. Come on,
that's not a lot of money, dude. $24 million for a starter.
That's actually that's about 5% of the cap.
Yeah, he's not making
too bad.
A lot. But again, my biggest problem last year was
it's a lot for a backup, though.
I had a bunch of people fucking dump out, and it was mostly on my defense, and my defense was fucking terrible. I was last in fucking yardage. I couldn't even hold on to my run defense fucking shit, which I'm usually good, and I wasn't getting any fucking turnovers. So offense was the least of my problems, but I still need to fix some of that. And, I'm on the works on it. I mean, I got a running back that's 2,000 yards for scrimmage every fucking year, and I couldn't afford him, so he's going to free agency next year, and I'm pretty sure that Quick's going to get him because he's an Infinity. No, not him. Humphreys. Humphreys has been fucking stellar, He's not getting the ground touchdowns, but he can catch some fucking passes, so...
Oh, you letting him go? Ooh.
Yeah, I can't say I don't got no money this year for him. I mean, I'll take a stab out next year, but someone's going to overbid for him, so... Just because I got production out of it. If I have him go into free agency next year with no production, then somebody might not want him. But yeah, I'm trying to revamp some wide receivers.
Trade him. See if someone will trade for him.
And then that leaves me with nobody. So I can't do that. He's my guy this year. So yeah, we'll see how it all works out. But yeah, fuck you, Jugs. Let's call my game.
Good, Jugs. Jugs, you can go first since you.
I'm picking the opponent over Williamsburg 20-14.
I see how you are. And here I thought we were friends. Maybe not anymore.
C-Max?
Yeah, I'm going to take Belichick, Williamsburg, and but 20-14. But I'll take Williamsburg, yeah.
I'm also going to take Williamsburg because Jobs is still getting his team together.
He doesn't have a quarterback anymore. Yeah, doesn't have a running back.
Neither do you.
I got a fucking running back.
Meet Kettle.
I actually like his...
Yeah, Peters looks all right. And Arroyo, I think Arroyo's the guy that he was talking about starting.
Arroyo, I like Arroyo. I think he can be a good quarterback. He's going to get sacked a lot, but for now. But again, his quarterback is just starting with the team. Last season, he only played through 78 times.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think you're going to win this, and I'm 24. You, Grim, and maybe 10-14 for Jops. His team is still trying to get it together. After he won that bowl, his team fell off a cliff for some reason. I don't know what happened.
Yeah,
salaries.
Was it?
Salary. I think he got busy too again. I'm not sure. But
his running... I think he completely missed the one off season.
Oh, he did?
No, he's been present for all of them, I think, but he's just been lagging a little bit on. I think he's got some work stuff going on. I can't remember all the forum posts. But yeah, I'm going to pick. I think I can get him maybe 27-20. I'll pick that score. I think I can get him 27-20. Yeah. 27-20, I'm going to pick me.
maybe you get a pick six.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. I revamped that secondary dude, and he's going to throw a lot.
Like
that's
your
awesome.
division, Grim, and your division, Jugs, are cutthroat.
Yeah,
Well,
yours
yeah, 'cause Matt
yours
Powell's
was just
paying attention now.
yeah.
What's that?
No, that's what Malcolm's paying attention.
Yeah, because of you guys, all the teams there are cutthroat trying to get that division title.
Yeah, me and Jugs was just talking about this not long ago. I mean, it was 3 seasons ago. We were the cutthroat fucking division in this conference, and now for the last 3 seasons, it's been fucking their division.
Mm-hmm.
So
It was because look at it.
yep, everyone's hovering around 8-8, 9-7.
And look at
Yeah, nobody had a losing record in our division.
yeah. And then you got C-Max, your division. Everyone's right there. Atlanta was the only one that slipped out slightly. But
Yeah. We're competitive in division. We're just not that competitive out of the division.
True.
So it's going to be good. I got to do my game plan tonight.
Yeah, I got to get in there and fuck around with shit myself. So
And
I'm already done. It's going to be what it's going to be.
yeah, I played around in preseason with some bullshit game planning, but absolutely it fell on its face.
Yeah, I have no idea how mine's going to work out. I had to change things up pretty significantly because I'm only starting one of the 3 starting wide receivers from last year, so I'm losing a ton of cohesion with Woody Sheck and Freeze going away. I mean, Freeze had like 7 or 8 years on the team, and Woody Sheck had like 12.
did Woody Sheck retire? Or he's out. Someone pick him up.
Well, I released him. I don't know. I didn't actually see if he got picked up before the season started here or not. He was there. He was there at the beginning of
I know
free
somebody
agency,
fucking- I know
late free
somebody
agency.
got him.
I don't know. His route running was down in the 30s.
Was it?
He took a serious decline. I mean, well, fuck, Preston's going to be less than 50 this year on route running. And I had to get a wide receiver. I mean, I had nothing.
So, according to the site, Woody Sheck is turned down the offer from your brother, but he still has 51 rating on the website. So,
Oh,
that
you and I were going after Wolf. He was on my team. I didn't really play him last season, and I was going to put him back on. But then I saw what you were paying for him, C-Max, and I said, I don't have any money. I can't pay it.
I had a lot of. I still have a lot of money because I have a lot of
holy
money.
shit, you got 84 million? What the fuck? What?
I was going to ask you about that because I didn't understand why you didn't spend some of that money.
All season long, I thought you didn't have any money, brother.
I underestimated on everybody. I thought I was going to get Braxton Collins first, my cornerback. I thought I was going to get him back, so I didn't put a lot of other offers in because he would have cost me damn near $60 million. But then I didn't get him, and by that point, all the really good players were gone out of free agency.
Oh,
So then it was just a matter of, all right, well, fuck, there's no good wide receivers out here. I'm going to go ahead and try and get guys that'll at least be a cohesion fit. And that didn't work out either because fucking Preston became the leader when he shouldn't be, and nobody fucking likes him. So, yeah, it was a goat screw. But I spent a lot of money on guys that aren't worth it because I had it.
Yeah, he had
somebody
some
to fill the
crazy
roster.
number, and I'm like, forget this. I'm not even going to bother.
It's like,
because
I'm going to pay a $10 million special teamer that's probably going to be inactive.
look at how much money I have.
yeah, I don't got much either. I think I'm down to. I just re-signed somebody, so I'm gonna be down to next to nothing.
You got some
11
money.
million?
Yeah.
I got 11.
It's decent. What is it?
That's
what do you
enough
have,
to
Jugs?
sign somebody if someone gets injured. You know,
Jugs is where
Jugs
I am.
is down there. Yeah. So
Well, one nice thing about having a bad season and not making the playoffs is everybody takes a reduced salary the next year. So
Yeah, a bunch of people
I probably got 50, 60 million worth of extra money just out of renegotiating contracts.
no, and honestly, that 80 million you're saving minus maybe 10 for re-signing or signing people during the season for injury, I mean, that's going to move you up the staff draft fucking 5 places.
You know,
Yeah, so great. I'll be at number 18 and still can't get anybody because I'm stuck on Air Coryell.
18's better than 23, man.
You know,
Yeah,
in game, you can go into the trade thing and press star shift, and you're allowed to trade funds for a player.
What?
You can trade funds. Like if I wanted to trade, like if I wanted to give you a player, you can give me $50 million if you press star shift, and it'll show up on your trade screen. I know you can't.
You can't. Yeah.
That would be all right. I got 80 million. Give me somebody.
I would say this isn't the real NFL. That's not going to work.
Well, if it was the real NFL, I'd be trading for a better GM.
I got a ton of cap room next year, and I'm already gonna spill it. I'm signing the guy that T-Zac traded for, that defensive end, next offseason.
Yeah,
I'm already telling you I'm signing him next year.
You do have. You have, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a ton. Of money
I'll have 180 million in cap space next year.
There you go.
And I'll probably sign Grimmer's running back.
All right, fellas, that was fun.
Yeah, that was a blast. Almost 3.5 hours. Three.
3 hours later.
That was quick, actually. To be honest. Oh, by the way, Julio, congrats
Yes.
on winning the bowl.
Are we gonna do season predictions before we hop off?
Sure, we can do it really quick. I can do it. I have time.
We already know the other conference is going to be Julio, Ben, or T-Zac. So which one of the three?
No, really quick. We'll go down north. So you have Plainfield, Toronto, Harlem, or Rochester. Jugs, you can go first. Anyone who has to jump off, you can jump off.
Toronto. Toronto's going to win 12, 13 games. He'll have that 1 or 2 game hiccup that he has because his game plan is so radical. His QB will throw 2 or 3 pick sixes. Those will be the 2 or 3 losses that he loses.
I want to get 1 and 2.
And
who's the second one?
I'm going to say I don't know who I want to pick second. I'm going to say Rochester.
All right, so we got Toronto and Rochester. Grim? He might have stepped out. C-Max?
Yeah, I think Toronto for sure. And then for me, it's toss up between Rochester and Harlem. I'm not sure how much Rob is, doing with Rochester right now. So I'm gonna give it to Harlem because I just don't think I'm not sure. I mean, I could be completely wrong, but I don't think Rob's really focusing that much on it right now. So I'll go with Toronto and then Harlem.
He's doing something different in this league. It looks like he's trying to run the ball in this league.
Yeah, I mean, if he's actually got a pretty good quarterback too. Yeah, exactly. He's got a pretty good quarterback, so that's why he could be sneaky. I mean, if he can get it to where he has a good running game, he's got the passing game to throw in some curveballs, when people aren't expecting him.
Yeah, he's very good at GMing and putting together teams, Rob. So, because in his other league, he's a dominant GM.
Yeah, for sure.
And you made a point. If he's paying attention, yes.
If he's paying attention, I think he can compete with Toronto. To be honest, maybe not roster wise right now, but
I don't think he has the roster to really compete. Maybe he could sneak and get a wild card, but there's no way he's going to win that division.
Yeah. I don't think he has the roster to do it. But if he put his mind to it and built his roster, he's good enough to compete with T-Zac.
I'm gonna go with Toronto, and I'm gonna also go with Harlem as well. And Grimm's probably grabbing a cup of coffee.
And
So,
he'd pick
Grim,
Toronto and Harlem also.
it looks like he's off. Looks
Oh,
like
is
he
he?
hung up.
did he?
Looks like it.
Participants.
I don't see it. I don't see his name
Yeah,
up on the
he's gone.
screen.
Oh,
I don't know who 412 is.
that's
That number's been sitting there.
I don't know who that is either. Atlanta. Okay, South. We have Atlanta, Fort Wayne, Houston, and San Antonio.
I am going San Antonio and then Houston.
And I will do. I'm actually going to go San Antonio as well. And I'm going to go Fort Wayne, actually, as second.
I honestly think that it's probably going to shake out real similar. Well, I mean, we were real close last year. I want to pick myself, but I think there's too many unknowns. I think it's going to go Houston, and then it'll be a toss-up between me and Fort Wayne, but I'll pick myself just to have some confidence.
Okay. Now we have the East. Augusta, Tucker, Orlando, Snapfinger.
I'm going to say Tucker and then Orlando.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the same. I think Augusta's got a chance if they can get themselves a balanced offense. It'd be nice to see what Banks can do. It's not just feeding the ball to the running back constant. I mean, Banks might be good, but I still think Tucker and then Orlando for this season.
I'm repeating what you guys just said. I believe Tucker and Orlando as well. Yes. Then we have the West. Gutenberg, Bordeaux, Paris, Mass-Louis.
So Gutenberg, Gothenburg, that's the obvious. They're the obvious number one. Honestly, I have no idea who's going to finish second. I don't think the second place team will make a wild card. I just don't. I've been trying to figure out why Mass Louis does not win more games. I mean, he has one of the most talented rosters every single year. I've been like kind of racking my brain trying to figure out like what is. For a while, I thought it was his offensive philosophy, and then I know he changed that. I'm not sure what's going on.
Yeah,
I kind of want to pick him second. I guess I'll pick them second. I just don't think it'll be enough wins to be considered for a wild card spot, though.
Yeah, I'm gonna echo that. I think Mass Lewis has a chance. Well, and if for no other reason than Paris and Bordeaux had a really rough draft, and I don't see them improving. So, but Mass Lewis, I think maybe could get 9-7 and take a wild card spot, but Gothenburg for sure taking the division.
I will go with Gothenburg, but I'm going to go with Bordeaux. Like you guys said, the second, third, and fourth place is a toss-up. However, I'm gonna pick Bordeaux for that one. Now we go to our conference, the North: Iowa, Arizona, Chicago, and Kansas.
So Kansas is, to me, clearly number one. And I'm picking, I don't know, let me look, but I'm going to pick Arizona to be second. Was Arizona second last year?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I'm picking Arizona to be second.
Yeah, I think hands down that's the way it'll go.
And I have to concur. Yes. Kansas and then Arizona. Now we go to the South with Texas, Outer Banks, Moontown, and Cap City. This is another good division, by the way.
Yeah, and
I am going with Capital City, and I want to say Outer Banks, but give me just 1 second. Let me look and see who his quarterback is.
He's got a good quarterback.
Yeah. Cap City 1, Outer Banks 2.
I'm gonna go with Cap City, but I think Texas is gonna rebound. I think he had an off season, with outside of game life. I think he's gonna rebound. So I'm gonna go Cap City and real close. I think it'll be a real close division throughout, but I think it'll be Cap City, Texas, and then Outer Banks.
I'm also going to go Cap City in Texas. I think Howie. I'm even thinking Howie might even take the division. However,
It's possible.
However, Cap City has a really good roster, so I'm going to go Cap City, Texas. But it's going to be a nail biter on that one. Now we go east with Chesapeake, Frederick, Brooklyn, and Williamsburg. Tough one to call.
Chesapeake number 1. I still don't think Frederick is quite ready to be number 2. So I'm going to say Williamsburg number 2.
But Michelli.
Yeah. He alone is going to lose him 4 games. He'd probably win 11 or 12 games if he didn't have him.
Grim is coming on. We're almost done, by the way. Grim, we were doing. Can you hear us? Okay, good. C-Max, what do you call?
Yeah,
Hey, I'm back, guys.
Yeah,
Sorry about that.
we just did all the conference. We called the teams.
Oh,
Yeah.
motherfuckers!
You disappeared.
My power. I just text Chris. You didn't say nothing, bitch.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention to my text. I ignored
Oh,
it
my
when
power
I'm
just
having,
went
I'm having
out.
serious conversations here. I didn't.
My power went out, man. Check your
I
phone.
didn't get a text. Fuck
I should've
your
texted
Yeah,
ass.
all we
Didn't
heard was
text
that you dropped off. We looked.
Yeah, it was just.
We looked for
Dude.
you. We couldn't find you, so we started picking
Yeah,
the
it was
teams.
just, dude, total blackout. My whole room went fucking black, and then everything turned on in like 2 seconds. But that means you got to restart the computer. Fucking stupid. All right,
Well,
go on.
we're in your division right now.
When your power went out, did you get scared?
No, no, I was fine because it only
okay.
went out for like a second.
If it would have been 3
Shut up,
seconds.
Jugs.
You would have
Fuck
been
you.
scared if it was longer.
All right,
I'm picking Chesapeake and Williamsburg also.
I'm going. Yeah, I'll go Chesapeake. I think I can get second. Frederick right behind me. Brooklyn's taking the bottom.
And I'm doing Chesapeake and Williamsburg as well.
Jugs, I'm starting my Chelly all year. Am I at the bottom?
He picked you as second. He
All right.
picked
I already picked you second. I said you would win 9 or 10 games. You'd probably win 3 or 4 more if you didn't have Michelli blood 3 or 4 games.
Fuck off. He'll be fine. He'll be fine.
And the last division is the West. Hanalei, Fairbanks, Colorado, and Oakland. This is another tough
Well,
division.
I'm picking Hanalei to go first again and me second.
Yep. Me too. Hanalei, Oakland, Colorado, then Fairbanks. Fairbanks is on the down again.
I'm gonna go with Oakland and then Hanalei. I've never seen Malco play for 2 full seasons in a row, so I don't know.
That's true.
No,
I mean,
No,
I don't know.
That's
I
a
mean,
valid point there.
I think he's on it this year, though, man.
but he might be, but we've said that many times when he wasn't. So who knows? I'm gonna play the odds here and say out of the last 50 seasons, he's probably played 5. So we're gonna go with Oakland and then Hanalei.
I have to agree with C-Max on this one, too.
Hey, he just
Oakland.
got that running back he can use now, too. He just drafted that Freebergs fucking last year.
Oakland and Hanalei.
He's got
Grimmer told me he didn't like my team. Grimmer said my team wasn't that good this year.
Well, in his defense, you did just tell him that Michelli sucked balls. So
No,
but
we
he
were
told me that-
talking.
he
We were
told me
talking
that
earlier in the season.
week.
Yeah, earlier
Oh.
in the week, and I didn't like it, but now that everyone's hit the rosters after PS2, it looks a little bit better.
If he's if
Oh my
Mount
God.
Powell is into his quarterback that he traded for, let's say he wants to be involved more seasons.
He's got to prove that Biletnikoff wasn't shit, so he's around for the next 3, I bet.
So if he's around this season, hold on.
Here's what I told Grimmer.
Good. Good.
Absolutely nothing.
You didn't tell me nothing. Yeah, he's like, here's what I told Grimmer. Nothing.
Here's what I told Grimmer. I said, I already know Mac Powell's game plan worked last year. All he has to do is show up once a week, every 4 or 5 games, make sure he doesn't have a major injury, and he's good.
Yep.
He's going to win 12 games with that roster alone. He doesn't have to do anything else. He has the quarterback and the talent to score 35 points a game. He doesn't have to do anything else.
But that's it. Just show up once or twice a week. That's all he's got to do. And he's been doing that the last 2 seasons at least. So
Right. He's done that the last couple years. That's right.
But if he disappears for a season, I mean, if in my opinion anyway, defense, you have to put work into it on a regular basis, or it goes to shit on you. So I don't know if you can just put in a defense and call it good for the season.
I'm with you on that, but I think people do it. I've seen folks say I just have this one defense that I run and I figured it out and it does good. And maybe that's my problem.
Ben doesn't change his defense.
What's that?
Ben leaves the same defense. Ben hasn't changed his defense in years.
I don't think so either. Or his offense. I mean, maybe from back when he was running more, he's changed his offense, but I don't think he's changed his defense. I mean, Clay, do you change your defense every game?
Every game? No.
See?
Different seasons. I'll try something in a single play, and I'll bring it in.
Yeah, and I don't do any single player bullshit. I mean,
but I should not say that. During the season, there might be, there was a season I changed my defense around a lot. There was.
And did you do better?
It was doing awful. Remember that year that I was allowing so many points?
That was last year, wasn't it?
It was the year before.
Okay.
The year before, where I allowed almost more points than I scored. And I don't know how I got a 10-6 record.
Oh yeah, that was that year.
Because the games that you won were close, and the games you lost were blowouts.
Yeah, 21-12.
That would be my guess.
Yeah, 21-12. Your total defense 34 or 32 against the rush.
Yeah, I was putting up 30-something points, but I was allowing 30-something points.
Yep, 437 to 426 2 years ago.
So that season, I was changing my defense around a lot.
Fuck. So maybe I should stop fucking changing my defense every week.
It depends on who you're playing. Sometimes it works. I mean, that's how I've managed to actually beat or at least to stay competitive with Ben every game over the last few seasons. I look at what he's doing. I change my players around to where I think they need to be positioned.
Right.
I do the double this or that depending on who's got the route running, and it's worked out pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, in my eyes, so I mean, you go to the film room every fucking week. Okay, so let's say you're playing a team that plays 6 plays out of 104, and they're all runs. Would you not? But you go back and look at all their games. Okay, 6 plays, 104. All runs. Would you not go in and set your 104 defense to be cover 1 buzz every single one of those fucking plays?
Okay, what happens if they go, I know Grimm's going to do this, and I'm going to change now?
Jugs just did to me last year. He was running it. He was running every time out of 2-1-2. When he came to my game, he knew I was going to cover 1 buzz, and he passed out of 2-1-2 almost every fucking play. And I got smoked.
45 points later.
Yep. I got smoked. But now, technically, my team should have been good enough to be able to still play in cover 1 buzz and cover those fucking receivers. So,
nah.
Well, it's cover 1 buzz, dude.
It doesn't matter how good. It doesn't matter how good your players are if they're not in a position to make plays. They're not in this position to make plays.
Well, they are technically cover 1 buzz. You guys are playing man on the outside, which I didn't have good cornerbacks last year. I mean, when Christian Meyer took a dump on me last year, that was the end of my fucking secondary. So I totally revamped it this year.
And when you get into buzz, you got an extra man at the line, and I mean everything's all crowded up, and That's not a great pass coverage formation.
Yeah, and I didn't have a great free safety last year either to run that super zone, but
Yep.
now I do. So
It's all about personnel.
Well, look at it like this: Borders ate you alive last time, and
Yep,
he's
he did.
on your team now. So
yeah, well, and he replaced Davison, who's a 10-year veteran. So now my cohesion is going to go down, but hopefully I can get Borders some targets. Get him involved.
Well, I got to get the F out of here, guys.
All right,
All right,
fellas.
boys. Yeah, it's been a long chat. I'm sorry I fucking dumped out there a second.
That's okay. It was great to get back on this thing and chat with you guys and
Yeah.
chat for the
They're
league.
They're going to have fun with the 3-hour show tomorrow, or the next day.
three
Yeah.
and a half now.
3.5. now.
Jesus Christ, man. Damn.
Thanks to
Yeah,
Jugs.
Yeah.
It was fun to be here. I
Yeah.
apologize I haven't been at the previous few, but yeah, this is a blast. You guys are fun.
No, and Clay, Jugs is up and down, but you want to do all these fucking shows. So long, well, now you're back on dating, so maybe you won't be. Maybe don't set up dates on Sunday so we can do Sunday night shows. But dude, I'm into it. I'd love to go back and see who drafted is doing well, who's making money that sucks, all that stuff. I'm down for it.
I agree. I think those are fun to look at. So people would be like, yeah, I shouldn't have fucking paid that player that much money.
Yeah, no, and I know I'm good enough at talking now that even if it's just me and you, we could do a fucking entertaining show.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah. Even if I can't come on or C Max can't come on, you guys
Yeah.
can run it yourself.
Well, I know Jugs has been
Do
texting
it.
me for weeks. He's like, "Who was on last night's show?" I'm like, "Well, Clay had to cancel. His internet went out." The week
Yeah.
before that, who was on
Right,
everyone's
because-
show? It's like it was Easter weekend, man. No one showed up. It's like-
Exactly.
Because
yeah.
the last three Sundays I was.
last three
I
Sundays, Jugs was available. He's like, "What's going on, man?" I'm like, shit ain't working out.
Exactly. All right,
Make it
fellas.
happen, Clay.
I know.
Yeah, let's try to get more of these going.
Let's see if we can do for next Sunday. How's that?
Yeah, I'm down.
Okay.
But like I said, pick your topic.
The topic will
And,
be it's either let's look at the players who are getting overpaid. Are they worth the money they're being paid? Or
All right.
let's look at the 5 years back of the draft picks. How did they pan out?
Or both.
I like it.
Free agent signings.
Or both.
See what free agent signings worked out.
Yeah. Sounds like a
Yep.
plan. All right,
Yeah,
guys.
absolutely. I love it.
Let's see if we can do it for next Sunday, and then I'll send a Zoom. And whoever can make it,
All right.
makes
boy.
it.
Yeah.
If not, no sweat.
Right on.
All right.
That'll
Sounds
work.
good.
Have a good one, guys.